Hello everyone, I am BowserJrXD. Welcome to the HyVee Parts 250 at Iowa Speedway. Race 22 of 36 for the NASCAR. It's race 22. Is it? I'm not even sure if I have the right. I think it is. Is it race 22 of 33 for the NASCAR Xfinity series? No, wait, no? I don't even. Hold on. I can't even remember how many races are left. Hold on. Damn. Okay. Race 22 of 33 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2025. All right, so we're at the Iowa Speedway, the 7/8 mile oval in the Midwest, known as the fastest short track on the planet. I think there are 5 short track races. Let's see. Xfinity has 5 short track races. This one is number 3 after Spring, Martinsville, and Bristol. And all right. Jesse Love wins the pole alongside William Sawalich. So Sawalich has been qualifying well. He was able to put together a strong oval performance last week at Dover. Let's see if he can continue that today. Maybe overcome the many criticisms that I have personally given him. Okay, so also note an hour into this event, we'll start the the NASCAR Canada Series race at the Autodrome Chaudier in Quebec, which is a quarter mile. There'll be 250 laps there.
Xfinity Series is in America's heartland. This short track nestled among
Newton,
the cornfields of Iowa as the Xfinity Series playoff countdown starts. The team of William Sawalich in this 18 has been searching for momentum all season long, and they may have finally found it. He qualified on the front row earlier today, and they bring speed into this weekend after a string of solid performances. William finished 6th last weekend at Indy, giving him a career best straight 3 top 10s, and it's not just been a confidence game for the driver. The whole team says it's been a big morale boost, from crew chief Jeff Mendering to the engineers to the pit crew. Dylan
and Kim, if you listen to driver radio here at Iowa for a minute or two, corner entry is the buzzwords or phrase, and finding stability on corner entry is the biggest challenge generally for crew chiefs. Good news for Jesse Love fans, that's been a strong suit of the 2 teams so far today, and that translated to being fastest in qualifying this morning. Crew Chief Danny Sockman specifically focused today on bringing a car that was stable turning into turn 1 and making sure his driver was aware that that was their end goal with their setup today. So far, so good. Now the goal is keeping the 2 car at the front all day, Carla.
And Kaulig Racing said it was a no-brainer to put Carson Hocevar in the car this weekend. Didn't want to take away from their Cup program, but as Kaulig teammates said, with Hocevar in the car, we'll either know where we're missing the mark as a driver or where we're missing the mark as an organization. He'll start 3rd today. Time to head back out for the command.
Iowa, give a big NASCAR welcome to Phil Grout. By day, he's the HyVee District Store Director in Newton, Iowa. But today, he's here to say the most famous words in motorsports. Take it away, Phil.
Drivers, start your engine!
And with that, 38 drivers ready to hit the track. We have no DNQs today. Here is today's starting lineup. Starting 38th, driving the number 74, Mike Harmon Racing Chevrolet for Mike Harmon Racing. 23 years old, from Mooresville, North Carolina, Dawson Cram. Starting 37th, driving the number 35, NOS Custom Diecast K1 Speed Ford for Joey Gase Motorsports with Scott Austin. 22 years old from West Greenwich, Connecticut, Tyler Tomasi. Starting 36th. Just gotta get my spreadsheets in check. Driving the number 54, Operation 300 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 20 years old from Artesia, New Mexico, Taylor Gray, the first rookie in the field. Starting 35th, driving the number 07, Motoplex of Nebraska Chevrolet for SS Greenlight Racing. 32 years old from Orchard Park, New York, Patrick Emmerling. Starting 34th, driving the number 71, Sweetwater Construction Chevrolet for DGM Racing with Jesse Uji Motorsports. 35 years old from Ashburn, Virginia, Ryan Ellis. Starting 33rd, driving the number 53, King of the Hill on Hulu Chevrolet for Joey Gase Motorsports with Scott Austin. 32 years old from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Joey Gase. Starting 32nd, driving the number 27, Crush 250 Chevrolet for Jordan Anderson Racing. 32 years old from Halifax, Virginia, Jeb Burton. Starting 31st, driving the number 45, Mongoose Power Solutions Chevrolet for Alpha Prime Racing. 28 years old from Douglasville, Georgia, Mason Massey. Starting 30th, driving the number 14, Camp Barnes Chevrolet for SS Greenlight Racing. 33 years old from Ligonier, Pennsylvania, Garrett Smithley. Starting 29th, driving the number 91, Suckup Chevrolet for DGM Racing with Jesse Uji Motorsports. 30 years old from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, Josh Bilicki. Starting 28th, driving the number 4, Ziploc Chevrolet for Alpha Prime Racing. 22 years old from Rhinelander, Wisconsin, Parker Retzloff. Starting 27th, driving the number 51, Alliance Driveway Solutions Chevrolet for Jeremy Clements Racing. 40 years old from Spartanburg, South Carolina, Jeremy Clements. Starting 26th, driving the number 48, Big Machine Vodka Spiked Cooler Chevrolet for Big Machine Racing. 24 years old from Miami, Florida, Nick Sanchez, the second rookie in the field. Starting 25th, driving the number 16, Celsius Chevrolet for Colleague Racing. 24 years old from Middletown, New York, Christian Eckes, the third rookie in the field. Starting 24th, driving the number 28, D2 Transport Ford for RSS Racing. 24 years old from Tucker, Georgia, Kyle Sieg. Starting 23rd, driving the number 70, Bayshore Mortgage Chevrolet for Cope Family Racing. 20 years old from Colts Neck, New Jersey, Thomas Annunziata. Starting 22nd, driving the number 44, Midas Chevrolet for Alpha Prime Racing. 34 years old from the Woodlands, Texas, Brennan Poole. Starting 23rd, driving the number 21st, driving the number 31, FVP Verified Proven Chevrolet for Jordan Anderson Racing. 25 years old from Bakersfield, California, Blaine Perkins. Starting 20th, driving the number 26, Thompson Pipe Group Toyota for Sam Hunt Racing. 23 years old from Anaheim, California, Dean Thompson, the fourth rookie in the field. Starting 19th, driving the number 42, Wild Protein Chips Chevrolet for Young's Motorsports. 26 years old from Ridgefield, Connecticut, Anthony Alfredo. Starting 18th, driving the number 17, HendrickCars.com Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. 19 years old from Clovis, California, Corey Day. Starting 17th, driving the number 25, Morton Buildings Ford for AM Racing. 24 years old from Huntersville, North Carolina, Harrison Burton. Starting 16th, driving the number 19, USNE Power Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 37 years old from Holtzville, New York, Justin Bonsignor. Starting 15th, driving the number 7, Brandt Precision Build Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports. 39 years old from Riverton, Illinois, Justin Allgaier. Starting 14th, driving the number 00, Road Ranger Bucked Up Ford for Haas Factory Team. 27 years old from Alpine, California, Sheldon Creed. Starting 13th, driving the number 99, Viking Motorsports Chevrolet for Viking Motorsports. 34 years old from Grass Valley, California, Matt DiBenedetto. Starting 12th, driving the number 20, Menards Criterion Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 28 years old from Atlanta, Georgia, Brandon Jones. And starting 11th, driving the number 9, Acceptance Insurance Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports. 32 years old from Alva, Florida, Ross Chastain. Now for the top 10. Starting 10th, driving the number 10, Champion Container Chevrolet for Colleague Racing. 21 years old from DeLand, Florida, Daniel Dye, the 4th highest starting rookie. Starting 9th, driving the number 8, TMC Transportation Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports, 21 years old from Johnson, Iowa, Sammy Smith. Starting 8th, driving the number 1, Roto-Rooter Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports, 22 years old from Mooresville, North Carolina, Carson Quapple, the 3rd highest starting rookie. Starting 7th, driving the number 39, Syaps Ford for RSS Racing, 38 years old from Tucker, Georgia, Ryan Sieg. Starting 6th, driving the number 21, Bennett Transportation Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing, 31 years old from Winston, Georgia, Austin Hill. Starting 5th, driving the number 41, Audible Ford for Haas Factory Team, 22 years old from Franklin, Wisconsin, Sam Mayer, the highest starting of the 6 Fords. Starting 4th, driving the number 88, KOA Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports, 19 years old from Mooresville, North Carolina, Connor Zilich, the 2nd highest starting rookie. Starting 3rd, driving the number 11, Benish Law Chevrolet for... Also, I just realized I misspoke earlier just a bit ago. I said Austin Hill, but he's been suspended, so let me restart. Starting 6th, driving the number 21, Bennett Transportation Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing, 35 years old from Louisville, North Carolina, Austin Dillon. There we go. Now back to 3rd. Starting 3rd, driving the number 11, Benish Law Chevrolet for Colleague Racing, 22 years old from Portage, Michigan, Carson Hocevar, replacing the fired Josh Williams. Starting 12th, outside pole, driving the number 18, Starkey Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, 18 years old from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, William Sawalich, the highest starting rookie and the highest starting of the 5 Toyotas. And on the pole, driving the number 2, Whelen Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing, with a pole time of 23.642 seconds and an average speed of 133.237 miles per hour. 20 years old from Menlo Park, California, Jesse Love. That is your starting lineup for today's HyVee Perks 250.
Outside of the top 30. We have 7 drivers that are dropping to the rear, unapproved adjustments, and trying to get their car where it needs to be. Taylor Gray didn't even make a qualifying run after being so good in practice. They were fighting brake issues. And we talk about the playoff cut line. Jet Burton said during practice, I cannot drive my car. He was slipping and sliding in qualifying. They made some changes to that machine. He too drops to the rear. Just like the 8 of Sammy Smith. He's a hometown guy, but a lot of ground to make up as we anticipate the green flag.
All right, buddy. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. You're one of the toughest ones I know. Yes, sir. Appreciate it, Terry. You're the best.
Sammy went for a ride after a great opening lap in qualifying. Lap 2 was not good to him. He was top 5 in this race last year and has been really good on the short track so far this season.
Yeah, going to have his work cut out for him. It's going to be interesting, Adam, I think, to see how easy is passing, how hard is it going to be. That second groove seems like it's going to be preferred. You see guys get to the inside, but it's really hard to complete the pass.
250 laps here. You'll get your money's worth. They will behind the wheel, and we will.
Alrighty. Lights are off the pace car. Next time by. All right, pace car rolling off pit lane. 250 laps around the 7/8 mile short track.
Racing.
The last short track before the playoffs. Here we go. We're green at Iowa.
18 with really good launch off the line, but if you watch right here, you see him get just a little bit loose.
Well, to the inside of Jesse Love. Who will get the advantage off of 2?
The momentum. Pretty surprised how close the 88 was able
Love
to stay right there behind Jesse Love.
Dillard sticking with 2 in the outside lane. He'll get the second. He dives to the inside. Can he clear his best friend coming to the line?
88 going for the lead.
From 4th to 1st in the span of a little more than a lap. He's now on the inside trying to clear the 2.
Clean air, we know what it advantage.
Oh, they got to ride around Austin Dillon and Ryan Sieg.
Ryan Sieg, the great qualifying effort's been so good in recent weeks. We talk about where he is in relation to that playoff cut line, and he's one of those involved in our first caution of the day.
That's not Austin Dillon, that's Sieg.
Yeah, going to lose all that track position. I got to think this has to be somebody getting loose on the bottom and sliding up into another car. We'll get a look at this here in just a second. See Sieg, he just got loose right there on the bottom, slid up. Actually, Austin had given him a lot of room, but Ryan just trying to catch that car. Slight contact. I don't think there's any damage to either of those cars. Be curious to see what they do on tires. I don't know that they slid. I don't know. That'd be a decision they're going to have to make here.
Early caution in Iowa, and one of the players involved in that playoff bubble involved, Ryan Sieg. We're back in a moment on CW.
We're going to see if we can get qualifying results for the NASCAR Canada race. It's the Bud Light 250 at the Autodrome Chaudière in Quebec, in Valley Junction. So Donald Teague on the pole. He's been good in qualifying. All right. So that race will start in about half an hour now. And I can finally, let's add sponsors and whatnot. Okay, so wait, 17 cars? I thought there were 18. Who dropped out? Okay, let's see. That's at Dodge now? Okay. Okay. Too close. Let's look at the practice. Maybe there's something happened in practice. So, nope, I guess one car just dropped out. Let's see who it was. All right, 47, 45. Let's see. Maybe the 36 is there. 3's there. 9's there. 39, 45, 47. The Qua, Teague. Yes, 83. That was going to be, actually no, yeah, the 83 was a TBA, so so they never announced who it was. I guess they weren't able to get a driver. So that was the operation of Stephen Duguay. Trying to find the age of one of the best drivers, one of the best new drivers. Maybe I'll find an racing reference. Nope. Well, eventually I'll find it. It's the only driver I don't know the age of. Alright, we're back. So C got I can't remember the term for it. It's killing me. But he slid up the track,
especially on the opening laps. The balance of these cars are going to be loose initially, and they'll build most likely tighter. Stinks for Austin. Austin had given that outside groove plenty of room, but Sieg just had to chase it all the way up the racetrack.
You know, something I thought of at the beginning of this race is Connor Zillage qualified fourth, but just the benefits of being an even-numbered car at the beginning when you don't do the choose and getting to start in that outside lane. The margins are so slim. Ryan Sieg, great in qualifying. but he's 5th. So he starts the race on the inside, and we know what challenges that can create. I don't want to make too much of it.
No, and I think that if you're seeing, you got to make good decisions, right? You get in that position, even if you have to give up a row or two, it's better than what's happened right there. So I'm with you, Adam. I know what you're saying, but I just think, you know, if you're in that position he's in, you need to capitalize on some stage points. You qualified well. Even if you have to give up a little bit here in the opening lap, and that's the decision you have to make.
Let's go down to Kim.
Yeah, interesting watching the replay of that incident. It looked like the back end got out from under Sieg, but actually right before that, he said the car got tighter and tighter. After the incident, maybe some bigger problems. He said the motor felt like he was stumbling. And guys, I've never heard this. The team said too much fuel pressure, the engine running hot right now in the 39. He is one of the bubble guys looking for a good day. Another bubble guy also looking for a good day with maybe some early issues. Jeb Burton, we talked about how he was wrecking loose in practice. Well, has it gotten any better? Here's radio for the 27.
Yeah, it's not fixed. I about wrecked it right there. So, this car. We found a crack and we welded it, but obviously from what he just said, he doesn't feel like it's fixed, so we're just going to have to manage the day the best we can.
You heard them talk about that crack. That was a crack in the track bar they found after practice and qualifying. And to the team's point, they thought that was going to alleviate the issues. That car still not to Jeb's liking, though.
All he can do is make the most of the day that he has. He's frustrated. He's been frustrated from the first lap on the racetrack, and it stinks, and everyone's been put in that position. But you just got to get it together, and they have to talk him off the cliff right now because he's got to get as many points as he can today.
Huge opportunity for Harrison Burton. He's the one guy at the bubble that hasn't had an issue. He restarts here.
Here we go. Green, green, green again here at Iowa.
Jesse Love, no surprise. 88 going from the outside lane.
Yeah, Jesse Love, I thought he might choose behind Connor. No, and it seemed like in the race last year, that's how it played out. The guys, the second place would choose the outside.
The run on the outside. He takes the lead again.
Jesse Love slides up right in front of Williams.
Here's Sam Mayer. He's worked up from 5th to the starting block. He's up to 3rd on the inside of Love.
They're going to have to run a few laps at him, get some air pressure built up. Ooh, we see
someone's way up high.
4 wide on the exit of turn 4.
It's crazy how
it's a red and white car.
Here in the corner 3 and 4, as you said, wide racing.
Mayer, I think he's going to clear the wallet still. He can't get on Love
the one
yet.
thing is, as we watch these guys, I loved having like a reference inside the car of where I wanted to run, and it could be hash marks, like the white hash marks you see at some tracks. Here it's that left side
Ross
seam. You put your left side tires right there on the seam in 3 and 4. They do about the same thing in turns 1 and 2, and it gives both those lanes a little bit of a reference. Do you see Sanchez trying to make it 3 wide down to turn 1?
Anthony Alfredo, that bright color
2 packs.
42 is 15.
Like 16 on back is a whole other minefield.
Test here. He's a rookie, and right behind him, orange and white 48. Nick Sanchez, another rookie. That fluorescent car, the 51, Jeremy Clements. All these guys racing from 15th to 20th in the running order. 3 wide, are you kidding me? 25, Harrison Burton trying to make it happen, slides back in behind Daniel Dye.
Yeah, it looks like the 20 car is struggling just a little bit on the outside, and those guys are trying to get underneath him. It's just so hard to complete the pass, and I think Harrison might be better than both of these guys, but he just needs somebody to make a decision so he has a way to go.
Burton trying to get around the inside of Jones.
Started 17, drove to 11.
Still out of it.
To that caution, and now he's inside the top 10 working over Brandon Jones.
Yeah, and that's not what Jeff Burton wants to hear, as those guys are battling for that last playoff position. But I don't think we should be surprised. 25 was really good in practice. Thought they'd missed it just a little bit in their qualifying run. Dylan, do you have more on the 25?
Well, yeah, Harrison has reiterated that all day. He said our race car is really good. They ran over 70 laps in practice, so got a pretty good feel for what it was going to do on older tires and over the course of a long run. But this day is going to be exactly about what you guys have talked about, just base hits and stage points. That's always their mantra, but especially given the troubles of the 2 guys they're battling in the playoffs, they don't need to do anything crazy today. Just do what they've done the last few weeks, and that'll be good enough.
Yeah, and Adam, if he can score some stage points in this first stage, knowing the struggles that Jeb's having, that's a huge transition for that team.
I was just wondering about that. How aggressive are you if you're Harrison Burton, knowing that those other guys have had trouble? And one guy that has to be aggressive is Taylor Gray. Really good in practice. Fought the car, had the brake issues, doesn't even make a qualifying run. But after starting in the rear with those changes, he's cut the field in half trying to get to the top 20. Chasing right now the 44, Brennan Poole.
Yeah, and Jeremy Clements, you see in that black and yellow 51, he's struggling right here, I think. trying to find some grip. You see Kyle Sieg on his inside. The 54, though, as you mentioned, the amount of cars he's been able to pass, obviously, whatever issue they had with the brakes, they were able to address that and get it fixed, and that car looks hooked up right now.
I mean, 2 for 1. He was boxed in, couldn't go anywhere. Now he gets Poole. He gets Clements. He'll set his sights on Sieg, and he'll put himself up to 18th, 19th very quickly here.
Yeah, he's got to be happy with the position they've been able to put themselves in, and it actually has worked out well.
Ross Chastain on the inside of
You'll get to
Carson
have that kind of
Quabble
early
is for
caution.
5th
You get to have a couple of restarts. That's when you can really capitalize on that.
Teammates for a spot in the top 5. The 9, Ross Chastain. The 1, Carson Quapple.
Ross probably be just a little bit more patient, knowing that's one of his teammate cars, and you just see the difficulty. There's no doubt the 9's a little bit quicker. He's just got to set Quapple up and try to get that momentum and hope that he'll cut him a little bit of a break if he can get side by side with him. With the 1 car running the preferred lane right there, your Ross, you almost want to enter just a little bit higher and then turn down to try to build up some momentum. But you have to be careful, because if you get above that darker area, the fresher asphalt, the track just has no grip.
Look behind them, the 11 of Carson Hocevar. And if you haven't been with us so far today, he's driving the 11 because this week, Colleague announced we're going to release Josh Williams. We're going to bring some Cup drivers over to evaluate our program, see where we are down the stretch of the regular season. Big opportunity for this team to grow. You hate it for Josh Williams because, and you know he'll land somewhere, but this is a tough time for him getting this opportunity.
The Williams'
and just couldn't quite
performance
get over the
has been
and
rather
if you just look at
lackluster
the 11
for the last
position,
year
you're
and a
say,
half.
It's been a big turnaround.
So
but in
sucks
general,
for him,
Colleague
but
has been
that's the
better
way
today
the
than
cookie
they've been
crumbles
the
sometimes.
last 4 or 5 races where their cars are.
And
Daniel
Hocevar
Dye's in the
taking
top
over,
10. Eckes
currently
is just
running
outside the
7th.
top 10. So those cars in general are running a little bit better. I think
By the way,
Hocevar's picked up
Zilich has
timings,
won
everything in racing. Has
the
picked a
last
good track to
3
come through
Xfinity
with
races
Colleague,
in a
but they're
row. For those who haven't seen, he won at Pocono, he won at Dover, and then he won at Indianapolis. Wait, were those 3 in a row? He won at Sonoma, he won at Dover, he won at Indianapolis. If he were to win today, he would tie the record for the most Xfinity Series victories in season history, in the most consecutive wins in Xfinity Series history. It was set in 1983 by the legendary Sam Ard, who won 4 races in a row at South Boston Speedway, Martinsville Speedway, Orange County Speedway, and Charlotte Motor Speedway. Noah Gragson tied it in 2022 with wins at Darlington Raceway, Kansas Speedway, Bristol Motor Speedway, and Texas Motor Speedway. So now, this could be history. And if he does win if he does win this race, next week is Watkins Glen, where he won on debut. And, well, I don't know if SVG, I forget if SVG is in that one or not. But it's a big opportunity for Zilich to achieve history. And he's a rookie. The rookie record for most wins by a rookie is 5, set by Kyle Busch in 2004, I think. So he's won 5 races already. So I think I've
blown.
It's just
commercials. Wait. Did Truex go for Rookie of the Year in 2003 or 4? Never declared, no, 4. Okay. So... Biffle won 5 times? Did Biffle win 5 times in 2001? And we're back.
But I would say if you're clicking laps off at Iowa, you can turn them quickly, and we're already halfway through the opening stage, and Connor Zilic putting cars a lap down, setting a fast pace in the 88.
Gosh, you just got to wonder when's it going to end with the 88. It's been amazing to watch him on so many different types of racetracks be able to go out and have the speed that he has. It's fun to watch, and it's hard to believe it's coming from a rookie.
I would say this, though. If you look, he's not totally driving away from Jesse Love. 0.7 of a second back is driver 2.
No, and the one thing about Jesse Love in practice, he ran a lot of laps, and he talked about how much he liked his car at the end of a run. So maybe we'll see him be able to run Connor back down, but I just got to think that Connor's up there pacing himself, Adam. You know what I mean? Got a little bit of lead. He's lapping some cars right now. Just don't overstep your car. Stay within the tires. Just run me some good laps here.
I've told this story a few times about Connor Zilic, but he made a comment to the media after he won that race at COTA earlier this year that he just feels like he can learn in the early part of a race and then really apply his knowledge in the final stage. This weekend he comes to a track where he's been. He's raced here. You know, he competed last year and won the ARCA race. So that really helps put him, you know, ahead of the game a little bit. And as we watch him left of your screen, right of your screen, the battle for 6 continues. Carson Kvapil is there, and Carson Hocevar continues to have a good day in that 11.
Yeah, and I would just to pick up on Zilic, to me, the most impressive thing he's been able to do, what really has stuck out to me this year, is when he went to Pocono, had never been there. Gets a really short practice, is able to go out, has Dale Jr. on the pit box with him, an incredible day. We then go to Indy last weekend, another track he's never been to, really hard racetrack in my opinion, and he was able to go out and get a win there. Had a little bit of luck last weekend, right? Like Larson takes out Allgaier, but he still was in the right position, and no one cares a year from now how you won the race. It's that you won the race, and here we are. You mentioned it, he's run this track before, and he was able to fire on Jesse Love the very first lap. The confidence that he has right now is higher than anyone else in the series.
The rookie class is outstanding. Leading the way, Connor Zilic. 54 at Taylor Gray, impressive as well. They're 15th from the back today, Dylan.
Yeah, and we'll make this a Toyota driver update on Taylor Gray, who is challenging Christian Eckes for the 14th spot. If you'll notice, he's been primarily on the bottom groove of the racetrack, of course, as he moves about a lane off there as we start talking about it. There he goes back to the bottom. They ran in the entirety of practice around that bottom groove, so they felt like that was going to be a big advantage for them early as everybody else moved up, that they would be able to kind of wrap the white line and pick off cars, but knew when they got to this range, inside the top 15, that the cars were going to get faster, that they were racing around, and their progress might slow down, and that they were just going to have to find a way to get around these guys. So this will be a true test of how good the 54 car is, but Taylor has been impressive getting to that point here in the early going.
I love that mindset, Adam. Like that he and Ratcliffe got together and are like, look, we know the preferred groove is going to be up, you know, a 1 lane, 2 lanes. We've got to make our car work on the bottom. I think that's a great mindset to have. You know, there's just the speed's not there around the bottom. If you catch a car that's a similar lap time as you, it's just really hard to pass. But I like that. It almost reminds me of the way Bristol races now, where once you get rolling around the top, you'll see guys with exceptional cars be able to make the passes on the bottom. But the top's still going to be the preferred lane. The big difference here is that it's so much further around the top at a place like Bristol than what it is the bottom, where here it's not that much different of a distance.
Connor Zilic put Garrett Smithley a lap down in a 14. Smithley running in a 32nd position. And we closed on it pretty quickly there.
Yeah, I think that was just a little bit of a misjudgment, maybe by both of them. And you know, if you're going a lap down early in the race like this,
a second. So yeah, why don't we look at who's gotten a lap down so far?
And again,
Dawson Cram down 30 laps. Let's see mechanical issues. Tyler Tomasi is 2 down, so that's on speed.
Top 5 here.
So
Zilic, Love, Mayer, Sawalas, Chad.
So Cram in 38th, Tomasi in 37th. Then 36th, so now we're getting to 1 lap down cars. Jeb Burton, 35th is Josh Bilicki, 34th, Patrick Emmerling, 33rd, Thomas Annunziata, 32nd, Garrett Smithley, 31st, Mason Massey. And as for their cars, Dawson Cram in the Mike Harmon car, Tomasi is in the 35, of course, Dawson Cram 74, Tomasi in the 35 Gase car, Jeb in the number 27 Jordan Anderson car, Josh Bilicki's in the 91 DGM car, Emmerling in the 07 SS Greenlight car, Annunziata in the 70 Cope car, Smithley in the 14 SS Greenlight car, Mason Massey in the Alpha Prime 45. 30th, Okay, but so 30 cars. So 30 cars are on the lead lap.
So many stylish colors to go with all your fave travel outfits. Skechers Slip-ins Arch Fit sneakers.
I was known for showing up and showing out, but psoriasis shut me down. Until I got clearer skin with BIMZELX, I can't wait to say I'm back.
Only BIMZELX targets and blocks IL-17A plus F to calm inflammation. BIMZELX can deliver transformative relief.
Most people got 100% clear skin, some after the first dose.
Serious side effects like suicidal thoughts and behavior, infections and lowered ability to fight them, liver problems, and inflammatory bowel disease have occurred. Tell your doctor if these happen or worsen, or fevers, chills, muscle aches, or cough occur, or you've had a vaccine or plan to. Before starting, get checked for infections, tuberculosis, and liver problems.
Give yourself a chance to say, I'm back.
Ask your dermatologist about BIMZELX, also approved for psoriatic arthritis and HS.
Ooh, I can ignore that. Just a reminder to get life insurance, but I can do it later.
We just got our life insurance through Ethos. You could get $1 million in coverage, and it only takes about 10 minutes.
That's not bad, actually.
Check your price today at ethos.com.
Cole's mom, last year my son hated hoodies, and now he's into them?
That's not just a hoodie. That's his new personality for the school year. He's a hoodie guy now.
What's after hoodie guy?
Cologne guy.
Cologne? You don't want to be cologne guy too soon.
Powerful. Majestic, recreational. At Progressive, we treat your outdoor vehicles like the noble creatures they are. Good boy. And when you bundle them with your home and auto, you can be sure they get the 24/7 protection they deserve.
Yeah. There you go.
So they're always ready for your next adventure. Because that's just how we do it around here. Around these parts, around them parts. It's just how we do it here.
Inside of 15 laps to go in the opening stage, Iowa Speedway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Connor Zilic got the early jump, takes the race lead. He just went around Blaine Perkins, put him a lap down. So 29, he's 29, so 28 cars on the lead lap. The next car is seat 28 of Kyle Segan. Just in front of him, Austin Dillon, who was involved in that early spin. Second lap of the race is 27th right now.
Yeah, and you got to think there's some damage to that car. And as we saw the replay earlier, it didn't look like there was any damage, but you got to think maybe the spoiler's been pushed down or something's happened to you know, for that car to be that far off the pace. As well as he qualified, as happy as he was in practice, he just doesn't have the speed right now. We know they put tires on at that break, so it's not like he's on older tires than what the 88 is. I think the 88's setting a really fast pace, but the 21 also is off quite a bit right now.
Well, you know, the other side of that, the 21 with Austin Dillon, 39 of Ryan Sieg.
Yeah, and watch right here, as you see the 21 slide up, he's in a slightly back in. Just watch the back of the car. You're going to see it go down. It's not bad, but it goes down just a little bit. We saw there was a different angle of that we saw earlier where you could see the back just kind of dip down a little bit. And it doesn't take much. You know, the teams will cheat all they can to get 60,000. So that little bit of an impact could make a big difference.
He goes a lap down here. Going to be 10 to go in the stage. If he could stay in that position, he could get the free pass. But the other side of that is Ryan Sieg involved in the same crash. He gets tires. He's picked up 18 spots since the restart, and he's 17th. That's the good news. Bad news is you got 4 sets of tires laying. They've used one. They're a set down, and depending on how this race plays out, that could be a huge disadvantage for them later.
It could be, Adam, and it could force them to have to stay out at some point, you know, in the race when the cautions fall. So we'll have to see how that works out for Sieg. But the good thing for them, they've been in that wreck. He still has the speed that he needs. I'd much rather be in his position than the 21.
Oh, they posted the Calabogie race on NASCAR Canada.
To stop suicide onboard camera. And right now, Don finds himself ninth. A little bump here on the 25 of Harrison Burton.
Guy going for 8th on Burton. Harrison Burton.
They've been battling. I've been watching this for a while. They have been battling hard the whole time. Daniel Dye looked like he's been just a tick quicker. Harrison's car, I think, has fallen off a little bit more. He's having a tough time getting by Annunziata
More lap
here.
cars. Joey Gase in his own 53.
Awesome,
Blaine
though.
Perkins in the Jordan Anderson 31. Kyle Segan, the RSS number 28. Austin Dillon in the Ricky Charters number 21.
His name, and we're almost done with the opening stage.
Yeah, and just doesn't seem to have the speed today that we've seen out of the 7 car. Maybe if he can get some track position, Pullman can make a couple adjustments on that.
As they run, Gillis would take the lead.
The 7 car just has not had the speed we've seen out of him on the ovals. We talked about this in the pre-race show. Typically, when we go to the ovals, the 7 is the car to beat no matter which oval we go to. That is kind of transitioned to the 88. the last few weeks.
But this is big for him because with
Chastain got by Sawallisch. He's still trying to get a move on.
That regular
Mayer.
season championship, only 21 points separating them coming in. It would get even.
It's huge. Yeah, absolutely. That's going to get. I mean, that could get washed away this weekend, right? I mean, there's a chance Zilich could lead as the points leader right now. It'd be huge.
Battle for third. Chastain in the 941. Sam Mayer, last year's winner. And he was so good last weekend that Indianapolis was Mayer.
Yeah, the 9 car looks really good to me on the long run. He's watched him be pretty
He's been able to work through the harder to pass cars. The question is, of course,
he's been really good on the
can he
long
match
run. If those
Zilich
guys can have a decent pit stop
clean
right
air?
when we have this stage break, I think he's one of those guys that can give Zilich a run for his money.
Yeah, he's been good every time he's been behind the wheel. In fact, when you look at that 9 car this year, they've delivered. Van Gisbergen has won. Daniel Suarez from the back in a backup car won in Mexico City.
Trying to go in the
Chastain
stage.
trying to do it today.
Chastain gets by Mayer for a second, or third.
As we hit 5 laps, going to be 4 laps to go stage 1.
A lot of traffic
Ryan
right
Ellis
here
in
in
the
front of these
DTM
guys.
71
See
goes
the
a lap
41
down.
just trying to get a little bit of fresh air. Those 3 cars lined up on the outside, that's going to be a challenge for these 2 to get by, because they're going to have to stay on the bottom for multiple laps in order to clear these guys.
And look at Sawallisch. You know, he has a great qualifying run, and even though he started on the front row and he's fallen to 5th, this is what they need to do, is just stay in the game. And he's been so good lately. 3 consecutive top 10 finishes, and his confidence is just swelling right now.
Well, for all the bad luck, they got that all out of the way early on in the season, Adam, and he's done a great job. There was a lot of hype around William coming into this year, and that was frustrating, I know, when it just seemed like nothing was going their way. But they have not only raced well, they've qualified well. He's done a really nice job in the race of staying out of trouble, which has been key. And he's fast. I mean, he's had speed every single weekend.
And I give credit to the guy you see here, Jeff Mindring, his signal caller, the crew chief, who's really done an outstanding job in recent years working with young drivers. Couple of laps to go, stage 1, 4 rookies in the top 10. We talk about Sawallisch. Carson Kvapil is there racing with him, trying to get into the top 5. And this big for Kvapil. He has a huge advantage over the cut line, but you don't want to do anything to throw it away late in the regular season. And right behind him is Hocevar. So this is a great little battle for position. Final lap of the opening stage.
Yeah, William did a great job because Kvapil was trying to use Blaine Perkins as a pick right there, and William was able to kind of force the issue and get the middle, be able to get back in front of the
battle
one
for
car.
5th while pursued
Man, has he been unbelievable. 3
I can't find the words
consecutive
today.
wins
Persist to
on
the
the
end of the
season.
stage, but
5
coming
this
to the
year,
green and checkered
and he just
Zilich
continues
wins
to
stage
dominate. He
1.
wins the opening
Love
stage.
second.
It's his 5th stage win of the campaign.
3rd goes to Chastain. 4th
Well,
is
he's
Mayer.
making it look
5th is Sawallisch.
He swept the 2 stages in the
6th
first
place
short track race
goes
of the year
to
at
Kvapil.
Martinsville. Other
7th
drivers
is
getting points.
Hocevar.
Love
8th is
Chastain.
Daniel Dye. 9th is Harrison Burton. And 10th place will go to Justin Allgaier. That is the end of stage 1. And so I don't know how quickly they'll get the Canada race started, but now that we've hit a stage break, I'm going to do I'm going to do a bit of coverage of the race that is set for, the other race set for today in, well, to our neighbor to the north. Hello everyone, BowserJrXD. Welcome to the Bud Light 250 at the Autodrome Chaudier in Valley Junction, Quebec. Race number 6 of the NASCAR, of 12 for the NASCAR Canada Series in 2025. I don't know, maybe I'll probably play that during the commercials, because there aren't really any commercials. But I think it's our largest short track field of the year so far with 17 cars. Donald Teague gets another short track pole. And got some new stars and some old champions in the field, and not just the regulars. So I'll just go over the starting lineup. Starting 17th, driving the number 04, Omnifab Bellemere Bernier Crepeau Dodge for Dumoulin competition. 49 years old from Trois-Rivières, Ontario, J.F. Dumoulin. Starting 16th, driving the number 37, Duclos Chrysler, Pieces de Auto Alencote Dodge for SDV Autosport. 42 years old from St. Joseph de Kamouraska, Quebec, Simon Dion Vines. I hope I'm pronouncing these right. Starting 15th, driving the number 84, Superior Propane, Rack.ca, Castrol, Best Buy Dodge for Larry Jackson Racing. 51 years old from Oakville, Ontario, Larry Jackson. Starting 14th, driving the number 3, Bully's Truck Stop, Leland HGC Chevrolet for Ed Hackinson Racing. 32 years old from Kanawake, Quebec, Dexter Stacy. Starting 13th, driving the number 17, Castrol Edge, Brimstone Games, CIM Metals Dodge for DJK Racing. 48 years old from St. Thomas, Ontario, DJ Kennington. Starting 12th, driving the number 47, WeatherTech, Belmere, Omnifab Dodge for Dumoulin competition. 46 years old from Trois-Rivières, Quebec, LP Dumoulin. So while I'm going to look up a quick history of the track. Come on. Okay. I just want to see how many other times there some drivers have won here in the Canada Series. Okay. No. Okay. Jackson. Let me see. Okay, still no. Okay, Kenny Kennington's number one here. I just did LP Dumoulin. He's never won here. Starting 11th, driving the number 27, GM Paillet Chevrolet Canada for Paillet Course Racing. 38, and it's in a Chevrolet, of course. 38 years old from Roxton Pond, Quebec, Andrew Ranger, who has won here 3 times. He won in 2018, 2022, and 2024. Starting time in the top 10. Starting 10th, driving the number 74, Valvoline Napa Racing Chevrolet for Innovation Autosport. 36 years old from St. Eustache, Quebec, Kevin Lacroix. No wins. Starting 9th, driving the number 54, Auto Place, CarQuest, Qualité Refrigeration Chevrolet for Corsol Performance. 31 years old from St. Jerome, Quebec, Dave Corsol. Starting 8th, driving the number 45, LaRue Industrial Snowblowers, XPN World Chevrolet for LaRue Motorsports. I believe 26 years old from Quebec City, Quebec, Will LaRue. Starting 7th, driving the number 28, Critical Pat Security, Leargas Dodge for DJK Racing. 24 years old from La Mirada, California, Ryan Vargas. Let's see, where are we? Okay. Pit stops.
At the very end of pit road, his report was just that he was tight from the center off in the corner. Chassis adjustment, 4 tires and fuel.
Race off progressive pit
Love,
road.
Zillett, Chastain, Sawallish, Allgaier, Jones, Gray, Hosevar, Harrison Burton, Sheldon Creed. Starting 6th, driving the number 36, Lucier Chevrolet, VR Victoriaville, GBI Chevrolet for LL Motorsports. 32 years old from St. Albert, Quebec, Alex LeBay. LeBay has won here. He won here in 2016. Starting 5th, driving the number 97, Carrossier Procolor Beloil. I can't even pronounce that. Ayat Auto Chevrolet for for Equip de Course. 30 years old from St. Marc-sur-Richelieu, Quebec. Is that Malcolm Strahan? I think that's how you pronounce it. Strahan. I don't know. Starting 4th, driving the number 9, Duro King BFL Canada Chevrolet for Innovation Autosport. 40 years old from Blainville, Quebec, Matthew Kingsbury. Starting 3rd, driving the number 96, GM Paillet Chevrolet Canada Chevrolet for Paillet Course Racing. 46 years old from St. Leonard d'Aston, Quebec, Marc-Antoine Cameron, who won here last year. No, 2 years ago, 2023. Starting on the outside pole, driving the number 39, GL Electricité Automatisations Automatizations Bet GRW Chevrolet for Jast Racing. 29 years old from Terrebonne, Quebec, Alex Gwinnett, or I can't even, I don't know I don't know French. On the pole. They're like, save me from all these pronunciations that I can't, probably butchering. Driving the number 80 Garoy Construction Revêtements Volcane Chevrolet for Group Tej, with a pole time of 13.374 seconds and an average speed of 67.295 miles per hour. 58 years old from Bois-Châtel, Quebec, Donald Tej, who has won, does not have a win here in the Canada Series. So that is your starting lineup for today's Bud Light 250 in Autodrome Chaudier. That has started, so I might set up a separate streaming window so I can show off that race in the meantime. The race will probably be over within an hour or so. Come on, the races should be the coverage should start for down in Chaudron Chaudier. Where is Valley Junction? I check my map because I have a giant Google map that shows the location of basically every series where I watch a race, even the ones I don't. Okay, Quebec. So this area. Is it this one? That's Montmagny. Is it? No, that's Granby, which is in the NASCAR Canada Series. That's a weekly series track. iCar is northwest of Montreal. Is it this one? No, that's another weekly race series track. Is it this one? That's Chaudier. So it's southwest of Quebec. It's Valley Junction. So Valley Junction is about, I don't know, is it 30 miles? Is that a half-hour drive outside of Quebec City?
Experts, here's what happened on the pit lane.
Yeah, keep an eye on the left front right here. Everything looks normal coming off. You see the hanger's going to get it on there in time. And it's like the guy's timing got off in the left front. The Jackman thought he'd been there long enough, and you go to release that. It's a split-second reaction. They had to come back in. Good to come back in, though, knowing that it wasn't tight. Sometimes you'll take a chance on that left front, Adam, because it's the least load that you have in the car, but they clearly didn't think they had enough of the nuts tight.
How about Mayer, third at the end of the stage, couldn't get into his pit stall. Here's their team radio.
Oh, it's live.
Sorry, fellas. You guys all good there? We got some work to do, all right? Everybody good on pit road? Yeah, everybody's good. Stand forward. We're good. Shake it off. Be fine. We'll be better next time for sure.
He was 16th prior to the choose.
Yep, he's just got to get a better
Pace
idea.
Car rolling off. Time to start stage 2 here at Iowa. Green again.
Control car goes outside of Ross Chastain. Stage 2 underway at Iowa.
See Ross Chastain, we talked about, I think he might be the guy that can contend with Connor Zilic, but look at the outside lane. Wow, it has so much momentum. As you see, the 18's going to get back to the outside of the 9 right there. I almost think if you're in second, you just have to
how fast Zilic can make his way back to the front. Jesse Love has the lead. Chastain slides up in the second ahead of Sawallish.
Of Ross right there. It's just, there's so much more momentum in the outside.
It's amazing to me how good the inside lane looks until turn 2. And then it's like you're on ice, and that outside lane just hammers and drives away.
Yeah, it's almost like if you're on the inside, you just have to commit, right, and try to slide up in front of the guy. I think if we get a late race restart, you can see somebody willing to take the chance. Oh, Connor,
Still trying to split Monsignor and DiBenedetto.
We've seen this before, right? Don't get too excited. Listen, you have the fastest car. Just take your time. Don't worry about it. Don't tear the fenders off of this thing trying to get to the front.
can see him coming. I mean, the 88's got a bright paint scheme this weekend, right behind the 99 of Matt DiBenedetto.
And I think that will make it easier on him. If they know how fast that car is every single week, they know that he dominated the first stage. If he catches you, you're not just going to let him go, but you might not race him as hard as somebody else because you know that without a doubt he's most likely going to get by you either way.
There was no arm
he's
for
going to have
error
to
there.
work for this because of the way this racetrack is and how that outside's a little more dominant. Look
Got,
at how fast he is through the
got
middle of the
Bonsignor.
corner right there.
That's the inside of Brennan Poole.
Inside the top 20 almost.
Yeah, and Justin cut him a little bit of a break right there, letting him slide up in front of him. It's really incredible how quick that 88 is.
Watch Christian Eckes 16 here. Bottom of the screen. And
well, we got Luce had to go way out of the groove.
Moves out of the way coming off the track.
Oh, he's still fighting that thing on the exit of the corner. He got loose actually in the preferred lane, so that car's super free for Eckes right now.
39 Ryan Sieg had the early spin, down a set of tires inside the top 15. Mayer trying to come back after their problems on pit road, and Carson Quapple, who ended the opening stage in 5th, is now falling outside the top 10. And look who's up in front of them, 17
Corey Day is
making his
in
5th career start,
11th.
doing a nice job driving for Hendrick Motorsports.
Yeah, and Adam, we referenced Corey in the qualifying show, that great run he had.
Qualified
at
18
Indy last week in the truck series, and his short track as well. I thought he did a great job, contended for the win in that race, battled with all of those guys all day long, and he's just having a quiet day here today. A rookie in the Xfinity Series, not very minimal stock car experience. I think he's doing a great job in a car that has a lot of pressure on it when you drive it, because when we see Larson or Chase or William Byron get in this, boom, and they contend to win the race, I don't think you can have those same expectations for Corey.
You know what I would say for him, his stats haven't always flashed when you talk about finishes.
But he's run well.
But he's run a lot of laps. See, that's what you need to do, is get the seat time. Meanwhile, behind him, it's a heck of a battle. Mayer trying to sneak through there.
Yeah, Mayer has
Still up
really
to
good car. We know he was good in that first stage.
He's by Quapple.
It's interesting, though, to see, like, sometimes you can have a good car, you get back in traffic, and your balance shifts so much, you're just not able to drive up through the front.
To the
but
inside
Mayer's
of
been able to
Hocevar.
split those guys, make them 3 wide, and end up getting by both of them.
Talk about being quiet. 00 has been that. Sheldon
Also,
Creed,
Brandon
but he's
Jones
trying
now
to get
running
in
in
the top
third.
5, racing the 11 of Carson Hocevar.
Yeah, Hocevar normally not a guy to have a quiet day, but it's been pretty quiet for Carson as well. Consistent back in the top 5 right now. Great run for him. First time in that 11 car this year.
Creed, one of those drivers that, the middle part of the summer was not good to him and very concerning. And at one point, you're like, oh, my gosh, they could lose their playoff position. But that team has rallied, put together a good few weeks, gained a lot of spots on the cut line, and very comfortable entering today. Back at the front, Love leads, but the 9 of Ross Chastain is right there. We're at the 1/3 point of stage 2. It's the 2, the 9, Brandon Jones, Sawalich, and Carson Hocevar, the top 5.
You can get this fixed now and pay later. You can get this fixed now and pay later. And this.
So, let's see. The Race Center seems to be stuck on last week. Hey, the schedule link from on the Race Center is partly broken because it says it's going from 2024, which is clearly wrong. Chastain rubbing all over the back of Jesse Love there, trying to figure out a pass. Probably the second fastest car. They have not fired yet at Chaudier. They're not rolling yet. I already went over the lineup. Not going over it again. Chastain trying to get to the inside. He'll stay on the quarter panel. It's like under the start-finish line to complete lap 83. Into turn 1. Completes the pass. New leader, the 9. Brandon Jones not far behind them.
Corner if you want to, but that's not going to make the car lift.
Wow, the audio from the track is really is not mixed well. And Taylor Gray, who started all 36, up 30 spots since the start. Pretty good run there, I'd say. Where is Illich? He is in 16th. Problem you have is that they feel kind of splits in the packs, and then once the packs get away, it's hard to gain position after that. Brandon Jones getting a little rough there on Jesse Love. Gives him a little bumper, cuts to the inside. He'll take second spot. And Taylor Gray just passed Sheldon Creed for fifth.
Side-by-side on CW because you don't miss anything, but you know who could have done without the side-by-side is Jesse Love because he went from first to third. Chastain gets the lead. Brandon Jones just got around him for second. Let's go back and look and see how the 9 was able to take the top spot away.
Yeah, he worked over Jesse for a few laps. You see him drive in here. You'll pack a bunch of air on that left rear, move that car up the racetrack. This took multiple laps to happen, but once he got to the inside, I think the 2 car, the balances went away on that car because he's faded quickly. Once Chastain was able to get by him, Brandon Jones a couple of laps later did almost the exact same move. So the 2 cars got a weakness right there in the middle of the corner and allowing those guys to get to his left rear.
You know, Mayer had the issue on pit road, and he's been driving that thing since the restart. I always make this, I don't know if driving angry is a thing, but maybe some added motivation.
Without a doubt.
And the miscue was his, right? I mean, you miss it coming in, and now he's driving it for all he's worth, and now we get a caution, and it's going to be for the 71 of Ryan Ellis, who had just gotten the free pass on that last caution. So the Wheeling caution lights are on again. Ellis was 26 when it got away.
You have to hustle like that to make a pass.
You hear him talking about
the Sweetwater
trying to hustle it to make the pass. Again,
Sweetwater
that's that
is a
inside
town
just being the weaker side of the racetrack. This is good for Connor Zillage, though. Mike, you start in the back, you pass a few cars on a restart, and get to restack the field. So just take a look right here. Ooh, Ryan just slides up the racetrack a little bit. Alfredo.
Oh, man. Alfredo barely missed the wall.
I'm not sure what will happen here with the free pass because those 2 drivers are showing is the first 2 1 lap down, Ellis and Alfredo.
But they were involved in the
caution. It did work out good for Mason.
So maybe there might not be a free pass.
He took the wave around to get back on the lead lap.
Okay, this will help Zealous continue catching up. Anyway, so... Okay, so now I'm going to turn on. Now pace laps at Chaudier.
We'll round out the 17 starters here today. Talk a little bit about that 3 car because you raced against it just a week ago at Calabogie Motorsport Park.
Gary Clute, I guess, was in the booth.
Dexter Stacy behind the wheel, but with Connor Bell. But you know that team is coming ready to play.
Yeah, that team, they've been at it for years and years and years. They're a well-oiled machine, and they executed super well. And Connor Bell did a great job last weekend.
Dexter Stacy, a veteran of the NASCAR Canada Series, stepped away from it for a little while. Back to do battle here today. But it's Donald Teague and Alex Gannett as the pace car pulls in, looking for the start here in the Bud Light.
Green, 250 laps at Chaudier.
We got Gannett all kinds of sideways. And he's still leading right now.
Hold on to the high
line, coming back down.
At the line, it's Gannett to kick him off.
It just goes to show you the 2 grooves that are very capable here around this quarter-mile surface. You have up to 18 degrees of banking usable here at this track, and Alex Gannett is going to try and
Kingsbury goes down to cover the low line in front of Marc-Antoine Cameron.
Good start for the Jura King, number 9.
Gannett goes way high. Oh, he pulls off the track.
He's off.
Damn. The front row starter is out. Well, that was fast. What happened? We didn't even finish 2 laps.
BowserJrXD number 39.
Okay.
He pulled back down. I assume his crew sent him back out saying, hey, we're not ready. You know, just go try and run some laps, see what you can do out there, try and diagnose the problem.
That's great, isn't it?
And let us, we'll let you know.
New third place runner. I think that's Maxime Gavreau. Cameron is starting to seek to lead positions from the 2 drivers in the high lane.
Garois Construction backed entry.
Garois? That's how you pronounce it? Oh, God. I hate French.
Series best 4th place finish at Momini.
Another password meter on the for 4th. I think that's, is that William LaRue?
Yeah, he's another guy who's shown really well this season, just gaining more and more experience, more and more time in these cars, and look at him sitting up there in second.
But it's funny because these 2 drivers at the front of the field have done battle against each other quite a bit, but behind the wheel of late model cars in the ACT series here in Quebec. So they know each other. They know this place as well.
Okay. Looks like Cameron will lose 5th as well.
So the field starting to stretch out just a little bit. It won't get too stretched out here. That's not the way this track usually plays out.
No, that's LeBay in 3rd, then LaRue in 4th.
To click off laps at the front, just ahead of Matthew Kingsbury.
And in 5th is Gavreau. Cameron is 6th. 7th is Vargas.
That is a driver that is a bit of a long shot we were going to watch here today. And LeBay, of course, does have a win here at Autodrome Chaudière and a championship to his credit.
Okay.
And he's got some laps, just not necessarily in this car this year.
Yeah, he's got a whole ton of laps. He's got so much seat time running the Xfinity car when he can, even running a truck at Lime Rock recently. He works on this car. He knows this track like the back of his hand. He's going to be a guy to watch. He certainly has the long run in mind. I imagine that car is going to come alive near the end of this race.
Teamed up with Dominic Lucier, who is a car owner in the Dirt Modified series here in Quebec. And that team came out to Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières among several events last year and had some pretty good showings, but it's really the driver who makes that car really work. Alex Levay is such a smart driver at the
I'll turn back the Xfinity race audio
he gets what
once
he can
I know
out
we're going to go
of every car that he's in and many different cars that he's in. Yeah, like you mentioned, GP3.
Battle going on in the back of the pack. I think that's for 13th position.
Over top of this quarter
trying to figure out what cars they are. It's a yellow one. I think one of them. I don't know which one.
Dodge of Larry Jackson. That's one of the side-by-side battles.
So, so 13th, 14th.
It's starting to pick up, and
it's Dexter Stacy and Larry Jackson.
Tries to pinch that car down and get underneath your race leader. Kingsbury really wants the lead.
I think Kingsbury's also a rookie.
He's as close as he's ever really been. He's got a great car. He's going to try and get everything he can out of this short run here.
Bunch of late model drivers in the front of the pack. You've got Donald Teague, you've got Matthew Kingsbury, and then you look back to 3rd.
LeBay is catching up, trying to find a way around Kingsbury. He got right to the bumper.
Will LaRue and Maxime Gauvreau.
Oh, the 21, and I mean the Xfinity 21 seems to be slowing to a stop. Something wrong with the Childress Bennett Transportation Chevrolet.
He did a little moving of Matthew.
Oh, never mind. They're just going again.
Maybe
okay,
ever
what
so
the heck was that?
Kingsbury looks like he's going to the outside there, and the 36
we're going green next time by.
Looks like it's so good on the bottom there.
But right now, LeBay is continuing to try to make the pass on Matthew Kingsbury.
Thought about practice. He said winning before the playoffs is the main focus to earn more playoff points. And I said, okay, you know, what if you have circled? And he said this weekend in Gateway, they felt like are their 2 best opportunities to win before the playoffs. Stage 1, he wasn't sure why he had to.
Apparently, MRN just broke the news that Dillix will drive in Cup next year for Trackhouse.
Yeah, pay attention right here. The 2nd place, Brandon Jones, who Kim was just talking about, took the outside again. I think that's a good decision.
Here we go, green again.
Launch on the restart, looked like he had a hard time getting going. But that outside just has so much momentum on the outside. As you see, Jesse Love can get into the corner good, but look at this right here.
Just staying on the high side.
Gets the gas so much
He'll
earlier.
keep the lead. Jones running around.
Okay
Jones Love as well to get to 3rd.
But I think that's a great decision for that second place car to take the outside. It's the safer bet. Maybe when you get down to the end, you go to the inside and you take a chance, going for the win of the race. But the outside, just for sure in that first 2 rows, seems to be the advantage.
You know who was unbelievable on that restart? Sam Mayer. I mean, he drove down to the inside.
Zillich up to 14. Oh, he gets into his teammate.
Bright yellow machine. Connor Zillich driving
Corey Day
through,
gets
got into his
loose
teammate,
behind both of
Justin
them.
Allgaier. They're just outside the top 15.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's the
Never
last
get
car
into
you
your
want to get
teammate.
into is your teammate. Obviously, the 88 got a little bit loose underneath him. You got to race hard here at the beginning. Did you see Jones? A little pressure on Chastain for the win. I didn't see this from the 20 car in practice.
Ryan Vargas got by Marc-Antoine Cameron.
I didn't notice the 20 car being a contender. I thought the 9 was, based on what we've been able to see as we go back and take a look at that contact. I mean, Justin gave him enough room. It just looked like the 88 got loose and slid up and got into the side of him. Unfortunately, no
from the
no
checkup
cut-down
resulting from
tires.
Zillich and Allgaier's
Yeah,
contact.
been bad, yeah.
You know, that was a similar area to the track where things got away from Sieg. Lap 2 when he got up and got into Austin Dillon.
Yeah, you see, I think that Connor was scared to pinch down with Eckes being on his inside. Eckes looked like he was going to give that to him, but when it did, it just put him in an awkward position. Car got loose, and unfortunately, it was a teammate on the outside.
Taylor Gray going in the wrong direction on the restart here.
Yeah, but you look at that. He's able to capitalize on that and get around the 2 car.
He had fallen to
Sam Mayer packed a bunch of air on the back of that car. And these guys have all complained about how loose they are on entry. And, that's typically an issue you have in all of oval racing. You have to be loose enough on entry to make the car turn through the middle. But
So Love is now back. He's back to 7th
because of this new asphalt
behind
they
Sheldon
put down.
Creed.
The new asphalt has a ton of grip, but this old asphalt that they're on right now, as they go into the corner, has no grip. So you're loose on entry, then you get in the middle, then when the car compresses, all of a sudden the balance is too tight. So finding the balance of your car harder here than most.
Yeah, Jesse Love on a bit of a slide after he had, restarted up there on the front row. He slid back to 7th in the running order. Taylor Gray had fallen to 7th and is now recovered, as you said, up to the 5th position. And trying to finish the deal on some stage points here with 18 laps to go, stage 2.
All these Gibbs cars, like as this race goes on, I know Connor dominated at the beginning, had that pit stall issue, but if you look, 2nd place with Brandon Jones, we have Sawalich in 5th, and then Taylor Gray, who just passed him for 4th. All the Gibbs cars, as the rubber is getting laid down, as we're getting later in this race, you're seeing all those cars start to rise to the top.
That's for 4th position.
Gray in as good a spot as he's been all day long. On board Daniel Dye. Taking advantage here as Zillich driving to the inside. We talk about the Gibbs cars. We haven't said a lot about Justin Bonsignor. Different baseline when you talk about expectation because of his limited experience, but he's got the 19 in the 15th position just in front of this duo.
Yeah, and the 88's got stalled out. For as dominant as that car was at the beginning, he went back to 26th, 27th on the restart of this stage, was able to drive up to 17th or 18th before that caution came out, but just hasn't been able to make up the ground that we all thought he was going to be able to as easily as like we saw Sieg or Taylor Gray do at the beginning of the race. And one of the issues there, Adam, is that they got to make a pit stop. So all these guys were able to adjust on their cars and get them a little better. It's always harder to pass later in the race than it is in the first run of the race.
Well, you got to stay with it. And it's something that Connor referenced in the pre-race earlier today. This is a long race, 250 laps here for the Xfinity Series, so there is time, especially in that final stage. What about the 88, Kim?
Yeah, just a completely different race car than what he had in clean air. He said he struggles on entry when he gets too close to guys, a little loose in dirty air. He said it's really tough, gets sideways when he's up to the bumper of another car. Now, he did make up 9 positions on that first run after he got buried during that loose wheel incident.
Zillich gets low, Sieg! Can he save it? Yes, he does. What a save.
I didn't think he was going to be able to save it. He was sideways.
And he didn't even lose a position.
You gotta almost wonder, is there a slow leak or something on the 88 after he had that contact with the 7? Does it have a slow leak? Or... Get another look at this right here. You see he drives in. It's kind of close to the 7. You see the 10 pack some air on that left rear. Look at that. I mean, that thing is sideways for the 88.
If you ever wondered the impact of aero at this track, I mean, boy, just...
Imagine that, being able to manipulate the aero of the car in front of you. Foreign concept, am I right?
Really fast, and on all the guys will tell you that. no matter what kind of a car you come here in, it's got a ton of speed, a ton of load. The repave obviously has given it a lot of grip in the corners.
Haven't said his name in a while. Carson Hocevar in the 11 for Colleague, and racing behind Nick Sanchez, this for 11th.
And Sanchez was not good in practice either. Qualifying didn't look that great, but they've been able to put together a decent race right here. He's been running around the top 10 most of the race. That car has been really fast of a lot of different styles of tracks that we went to this year, but it seemed like they were a little bit off when they unloaded this weekend. But they've made a nice recovery here to be in the top 10.
Well, but you feel like the last 5-6 weeks has been a microcosm of what it's like to be a rookie, because he gets his first career win at Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta, follows it up with a couple of top fives, and you're like, here he comes. He's figuring it out. Last couple of weeks, they've had issues finish outside the top 30, and not as good here today. So it's so hard to find consistency. And the one other thing for so many young drivers in the Xfinity Series, you're just not used to having to bring it every week for 33 weeks. That's tough mentally, the grind that comes with running at this level.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like if we look at Hocevar, who's behind him, ran the top 5 that first stage, they've made some adjustments to that car. Most likely it went the wrong way, because it seems like the 11 car now is struggling to even stay. He's back to 12.
Colleague cars were good earlier today, practice and qualifying, but not showing out at a high level in the race. They're all anywhere from 12th to 16th
We had a caution
in the running order.
at Chaudier. We had a car go off the track. Maxime Gavreau.
I look at some of these drivers that made pit stops under that caution just past lap 90, and there hasn't been a ton of movement. But I start to think as we head toward the end of stage 2, are they just doing what it takes to stay on the lead lap here, and then you stay out? Take care of your tires so you're in position to flip the stage. As we look at the running order for Joe Gibbs Racing and Justin Bonsignor up to 13th. He's doing a really good job.
I think he's doing a great job. Yeah, it's been a tough
Marc-Antoine Cameron is getting pushed into the pit.
Not in it every single weekend.
Defending champion.
Putting together a great weekend here, and again, talked about the Gibbs cars seem to keep getting better. Justin doing a tremendous job running inside the top.
He came to a stop.
Running better than he qualified.
Cameron is at a standstill.
Track for Joe Gibbs Racing over the years. 7 wins here, the best all time. Connor Zilich, meanwhile, 17th. Here's 88 radio.
Track position. I'll be all right. We've got to get to this stage and get tires on it again. Yeah, we'll get the tire position on the pit stop.
Oh boy, a little frustration on the radio, and it's the opposite of. It's the opposite of Mayer, right? Like Sam knew that he made the mistake getting in his pit stall. Connor's frustrated at the pit crew because he wins his first stage, and then you get back in practice. But, I mean, that's part of it. It's a team sport. There's no doubt about it. Sieg lose all his momentum right there on the exit of 4. I think Connor's going to be okay. They just got to reset. That balance is going to have to get adjusted for traffic versus what he had at the start of the race. And, look, racing's frustrating.
Mentioned Sieg. He falls back to 10th in that final spot to get stage points. 4 to go in the stage.
What did I say in qualifying? When you're tight, you're mad. When you're loose, you scream F-bombs. Did you hear it?
Yeah.
There was a great example of that.
Well, when you're him, and today you dominate the early portion of the race like you do, and then you have some of the issues that unfold, I think the frustration level is going to grow. And, you know, someone that's gone the other way with it, I mean, I mentioned the fact that he had a little bit of a slide on this restart, but Taylor Gray has managed his day at an outstanding level, up to 3rd now. And he passed Mayer to get to 3rd, which is worth noting because Mayer was so good on the restart and so good in the early part of that first stage. And look at what he's been able to do today. Plus 33 after not making a qualifying run, talking about Taylor Gray.
Yeah, and not just that, but 2/10 quicker than the leader. Like, the Gray is by far the fastest car on the track. As you see, Brandon Jones has closed in almost to the rear bumper of Ross Chastain. I think Ross is going to be fine to go on and win the stage, but we got to look ahead to the next stage. If the 54 can have a good pit stop, they have the best car on this run.
Looks like it's going to be a junior motorsports sweep, stage 1 and stage 2. First stage
Chastain
goes to
coming
Connor
off the turn
Zilich,
4
and
with
stage
Jones
2
right behind him, wins stage 2.
Chastain.
Jones 2nd.
It's his 10th
3rd
career
goes
stage
to
victory.
Taylor Gray.
And the last
4th
time
is
he won
Van
a stage,
Mayer.
Martinsville,
5th is Williams Sawalich.
October of 2020.
6th
He's been
Sheldon
great here over
Creed,
the years.
7th,
Couple of
Jesse
top
Love,
fives for JD
8th, Harrison
Motorsports,
Burton, 9th,
top
Carson
10 last
Kvapil,
year
10th,
driving
Ryan
for Mario
C.
Gosling.
for Stage 2. Okay, now looking back at the Canada Series event.
6 of Marc-Antoine Cameron. Again, another driver who is still in that car. The window net's still up, so looking to possibly get out and complete
Cameron and
some
Gavreau
laps
were near
and,
each other.
keep that point.
See the 97 getting a little
potentially.
sideways.
Let's
There's a
make
bit
quick
of
break. You're
contact.
watching the NASCAR Canada Series on Rev TV.
So let me see if I can find a better replay of this.
4 is tires against the series. Here, the driver that brought out this caution again stuffed into the a little bit. Here's it in forward motion. Yeah,
there
the car just
couldn't get
spun out.
it's
Well, I don't know why. What happened? I guess the car just 96 is shut down.
Underneath.
Great, but the race center isn't working, so I don't know what lap we're on. Oh, now it's working. It took you a half hour to get your race center to get the proper race. There we go. 56 laps complete. Gavreau, Cameron are the cars in last place. The Dumoulin brothers are next. LP is 4 laps down, while JF is the last car in the lead lap. Oh, LP Dumoulin has not had any luck this year. Okay. So, no, it's not going to work. That should work. So this is for the Canada Series race. Done. Okay, so that's so I can use both of these. So, 2 of the full-timers are out of commission. That leaves Ranger, Kennington, Lacroix, Vargas, and Kingsbury. Well, one is going to be one. Well, 2 of them just don't have a chance to win. Now it's 7 laps down.
Or possibly just before the contact.
This is right ahead of Ryan Vargas.
But essentially, oh, there it is.
So they did slam into each other. Oh, bouncing off each other into a wall.
Not much room between them. The left rear tire goes down at that point, and the driver of the 97 is along for the ride.
Yeah, the 97's along for the ride, and clearly something broke in the rear end of the 96 there. You can see the left rear just jammed up into the body of the car. Yeah, he's got problems.
Yeah, so that's why the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron stopped up in turn number 3, and there you can see the crew trying to pull that rear end back in line. Cameron is still in that car. The window net is still up. He's not giving up in this fight. So he's hoping the crew can get it good enough that he can go and salvage some points for this day.
Yeah, he's not going to get out until he is mathematically sure that he's not going to gain a single point out there.
And you have an update, too, on Alex Gannett, one of the stories that we've been following since the drop of the initial green.
Yeah, we thought Gannett had a problem off the start there. He was leading right away, but it turns out he got a black flag for jumping the start. So it was a little bit of a miscommunication with him, whether he was to go into the pits or if he was to drop back. He dropped back to the back of the field, and now he's coming back, and he's probably just cruising, saving his tires, waiting for this caution and the halfway break.
Yeah, so he does have a fast car in the BetGRW number 39. That is the WeatherTech.ca number 47 of LP Dumoulin. Problems for him potentially as he stopped here on the front straightaway. So he was not involved in anything. As a matter of fact, had a decent run going, just sitting outside the top 10. But there is a good look at Alex Gannett. And as we reported, the BetGRW number 39 had to head quickly towards the pit area to make a quick stop and go. Essentially drop back to the tail of the line is what he did. Lost almost half a track as a penalty for jumping the initial start, but it was working his way up through the field. And currently
pit stop's about to go off, 10, looks like, in Iowa.
Is now out of the car in the 97. We turn our attention.
So, here we go.
Pit lane all open now, Kim.
Yeah, one of the top-ranked pit crews on that 20 team. Brandon saying pushing through the front tires, still edgy entry, hurt his exit with that last adjustment. Then middle of your screen, Ross Chastain, he said, it's a grip issue, not a balance issue. I don't need any more out of the rear. Managing the rear is the biggest issue. Could use a little bit more turn through the center, and so they'll make just a slight adjustment, Dylan.
Balance is good on the 54. Taylor Gray said he migrated a little bit tighter that run by about half number, but good stability all around. 4 tires and fuel. Sam Mayer on the right of the screen as well said he was tight center off again on this run. Asked for a bigger change if he's going to be able to race the leaders for the win.
The easiest place to pass.
Jones takes wins rail pit road. Jones, Chastain, Sawallisch, Gray, Mayer, Love, Quabbel, Creed, Brian Speak, Harrison
He
Burton.
wins the race off in front of Chastain. Sawallisch +2. Gray lost a spot, so did Mayer.
Now we have half the race to go now. We'll go to commercial. We're under commercial at Chaudière. Gouvreau getting hauled off, and the 96 getting pulled off again. Did they go back out or something? Right. Still not back. Okay, I think they're going to green at Chaudière again.
Alex Gannett with pit side. We're heading back into the 50s restart.
Audio is horrendous again.
Deeper in the field, got very loose.
Teams holding on to the lead. LeBay took, no, Kingsbury to his outside.
And caution is back out.
Why?
Again. No, it's not. Yes, it is. I was going to say I saw the yellow lights flashing, but everybody stayed up to speed on the front stretch.
What
now
happened?
They're backing down on the back straightaway.
Yeah, sometimes you want to make sure. You want to really make sure the caution's out.
Why? Give us a reason
So
for
we'll
it.
line them back up. I don't believe too many
Like
drivers
Jones had to go
switched
to the back of
places,
the
but
field
the pace
after.
car is back out. NASCAR will restack this field once again. But NASCAR has been racing here at Autodrome Chaudière. It's a facility that was built and opened in 1992, first as a dirt track, then it was paved in 2005. And it attracts fans aplenty when NASCAR Canada Series comes to town. They've been lining up here since 8:30 this morning.
All right, so.
With him being on the inside, just pushed it just
All
a
right,
little
time
bit
to
too far.
start stage 3, the second half of the race. Here we go, green again at Iowa.
Best on 4 tires. Ross Chastain to his left. Restart. Final run.
Ross
here
running that
at Iowa.
inside. Can he
Yeah,
clear
this
Sammy
will be
Smith?
something that everybody
Yes, he
will be watching
does.
is how that 8 car can hang on.
Taylor Gray,
knowing the amount of
third.
laps
Fourth,
he has on his
Sawallich.
tires. Look how
Jesse
wide
Love trying to
they
make a
get
run
right
to the
there.
outside of
3 wide,
Sawallich.
everybody knowing how big track position is. We heard Connor Zillage screaming about that earlier the last stage.
Taylor Gray strong in that outside lane. Up to third, going to get second away here on those fresher tires.
Oh, and I think Ross Chastain's going to have a mirror of Taylor Gray. He was the best car at the end of that last stage. I thought he fired off decent, but on a longer run, the 54 seemed to be a tenth, 2 tenths better than Chastain was.
Looking at the
See Williams Wallace trapped on the bottom right there. Just a train of cars beside him on the outside. It's so hard to stay disciplined and not get loose and slide up. And he might have a little bit of a gap right here in front of Sam Mayer.
We've had 12 different
Sam
winners
says,
this
no, you
season.
don't.
The record's
Yeah, you see Mayer kind of
18.
gas it up through the middle, not wanting to let
Chastain
him
will
fill
make it
that
13.
hole. Oh,
Wallace
it's
getting
gonna get
loose.
tight right there. Now
He's fallen back to 7th.
Ryan Sieg looking down
At risk of
low.
a 3 wide.
Sheldon
Now doesn't,
Creed
but
a part
that
of
doesn't
mix
happen.
as well.
Wow. Looked like Creed got loose on entry, and that allowed the 18 to slide up. As you see Sieg still trying to make up for what happened early in the race. We saw him get loose underneath the 21, have to go to the back.
Well, if you're Sieg, you've reestablished track position. Now you just want long green flag runs because you're down a set of tires and
Sieg and
compared to some
Burton
of these
have
other
great
guys.
opportunities
He's
to
only
get
got 1
points.
set left for the rest
Sieg
of this
and
race.
Harrison
Everyone else
have an opportunity to get a lot of points on
sets
Jeb
left.
today.
But I'll tell you, Sammy Smith, being on those older tires, is hanging on really well. He's got 30 more laps, 40 more laps on his tires than these other guys do, and he's been able to hang on fairly decent. And I kind of saw that in practice. It didn't seem like there was a significant amount of fall off. This is a different tire than they brought last year. The asphalt's a year older, so you never know what you're going to have, but it seems like he's been able to hang on better than expected.
Well, you look at 2 drivers inside the top 5, and they've gone about their business in a different way to get there. But Taylor Gray, Sammy Smith, both coming from the rear.
Watson York trying to split the middle between Eckes and Sanchez.
Here in this final
Fails.
stage.
Might lose
we
a
talked
on his
about,
outside to
Gray
Zillage.
being quicker than Chastain, still 10th to 2 tenths quicker. He's going to run Chastain down in the next few laps based on the lap times we see. Is Sammy Smith's got his hands full of these two.
Mayer and
Knowing he's on
Wappel.
older tires, it's so hard to race on being defensive. You want to be in the other position, you know, with the newer tires. Sammy's going to have his hands full the rest of this. This is the battle right here, though.
Fastest lap of the day belongs to Taylor Gray, and he just turned it. And I think Ross Chastain is well aware of how good that 54 is.
Yeah, but I would say of anyone in this race, Chastain would be one of the hardest guys to pass.
Kansas
Nothing to
Series race
lose.
is green again.
He's really good at driving out the back
King
of the car.
Metsu,
putting his
Kingsbury's
car
now leader.
in the position
LaRue
that you need
trying to
be
get to the
in.
outside of Teed.
So Taylor's going to have his work cut out for him
They
to
get
get
to
by,
second.
but clearly has the best
But
car at this
Taylor
point.
Gray
And like I say, at
closing
the end of that
like a
second
homing
stage,
missile.
54 was a couple of tenths quicker than he was.
Chastain plays great defense on Sundays, so you know he can do it on Saturday. And we've talked about how motivated he is to win in that
Gonna get her stuff overheated behind him.
Yeah, so you just heard Taylor's spotter come on and be like, you know, be careful not to just overheat your car being behind. He's more referencing the tires, putting himself in a bad position. The one thing that you can try to do, knowing that how hard the bottom is to work, is to try to work a little bit higher.
Ah, Corey saved it! Thompson! They saves it!
He hangs on to it.
Thompson saves it! What a save!
There's the caution.
Wow!
Gosh, you saw Corey Day underneath him. Just barely get loose, slide up the racetrack. Those guys racing for the 21st position. Frustration from Dean Thompson right there. You can see it inside of his helmet. See them going down into turn 3. Looked like Dean was trying to block a little. Day forced the issue, got down inside
Tried to
of
do
him.
a bump and run
This
and
is a
slid
learning
up.
experience for Corey, right? You see that? Gets so loose. Good save by both of those guys, though, Adam.
You're outside the fuel window. I don't think anybody going to
Oh, you never know.
We'll see. Who knows? Okay.
Nose even higher than him.
There you see how he's able to use the increased banking.
we
Up
go.
to 18 degrees here in the quarter mile at Autodrome Chaudière, and he opened the door on the inside. Donald Teague says thank you very much, and he walks through almost.
Teague trying to get back to the inside of LaRue. Almost clear.
Second breath in the
Kingsbury by only just a car length lead. He's running the high lane. Teague trying to cut way to the inside again. He still can't clear LaRue.
Chevrolet just in behind in fourth spot.
And Alex LeBay is right behind this.
Waiting to see how this battle is going to play out. Don't count out.
Oh, he's clear. Teague is clear. He now is in the inside of Kingsbury. Rubs off of him. LeBay cuts to the inside to go over third on LaRue.
Little donut on the door of the number 9 Duro King Chevrolet of Matthew Kingsbury, and that is courtesy of the right front of Donald Teague as they
Was that a little bit more bumper?
Teague still trying to grab the inside, but look at how the battle has moved
Oh,
up.
you see the 9 almost spinning in 3 and 4.
Contact again.
Listen,
They're running
4.
the middle of this racetrack. Both of them are.
Yeah, everyone's fighting for that high line.
Oh, Kingsbury slams into Teague. They ride up the track.
Of Donald Teague caught that right front corner, and that's dangerous too because hit wheel to wheel like that, it quickly knocks
Kingsbury is clear.
Yeah, the 80 chased it up the racetrack a little bit there, and he's letting him go now a little bit. But, man, he's got the 45 and the 36 hungry for that second spot.
Have a look at the right front of the 80 of Donald Teague.
Yeah, it looked.
Is it just me,
the wheel
or
is
the front
turned
of
out
the
of
tire
whack.
showing a lot more than the rear of the tire? And that's what we talk about the toe setting on this car. It's how straight the tires are pointed.
It's not the
to the
that
other.
the front right of the 80 is not
in
straight.
parallel with each other. If you've got one knocked out, it makes it a handful.
Yeah, it's tough to see. It could be just the way that the nose is there, or him and the 9 could have jointly adjusted on that car.
Now he'll be looking for the halfway mark to readjust that right front corner, but the Gadawa Construction number 80 still in the mix here. Second place as he tries to hold off the 45 of Will LaRue. Your race leader continues to be the number 9 of Matthew Kingsbury from Blainville, Quebec. Again, his career best finish.
Teague trying to cut to the inside of the 80 again.
Was a fourth.
Also, Cameron is now in last place.
Finish here at Valley Zone Show at
Big hit in the points, just like Lacroix last weekend.
In 2022. Look at LeBay. He seems to be the only one of the top runners who's able to really get it down to the inside. And that car is happy as a clam down there along the curving. 1 and 2, he rides up a little bit on entry, but then
I wish I didn't have to turn away from
down to the inside.
I wish I didn't have to turn away from the Canada race. This is
looking
awesome.
at the writing on the wall here
Short
a little
track
bit.
racing.
You
Bouncing off
envision
each
the
other,
9 and the 80
rubbing off the track. That's good stuff. 4
4
car is still under a blanket for the lead. Teague, for his part, has not won in the Canada Series since 2018, which is his only win, and that came at Sutherland Automotive Speedway. Oh, Teague's got to run to the inside. Again, they're side by side out of 4.
He really wants the extreme outside to try and make a run around both Kingsbury and Donald Teague.
Yeah, he's driving in deep there, and he's getting a great run off of 2 and 4.
This is the beauty of Autodrome Chaudière. We talked a long time about the battle between Alex LeBay and Caden Lapsevich back in 2016. This is the
Caden Lapsevich, I think, was the champion that year. LeBay won it the next year.
To seeing, and this is why the fans come out.
Kingsbury is clear.
As early as 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
and now LaRue seems like he's going to be able to force his way through on the outside.
Side by side since the drop of the green flag.
LaRue tucked right up behind the Duro King number 9 of Matthew Kingsbury. Donald Teague still down low. It seems like he makes a run. He backs it up a little bit, cools off the general tires.
Meanwhile, a little further back, we've got Andrew Ranger running 5th, highest of the full-time drivers.
Number 27 of Andrew Ranger.
And he's getting closer to this battle.
So he's not
this
too
mosh
far
pit.
behind that 4-car battle for the race lead.
6th is Kennington, 7th is
guaranteed.
Certainly, he's got,
I think that's the 54.
Clean air there. Everyone else is side by side.
And then Vargas
is
is
trying to go where his car is happiest. And clearly,
anyway, we're going green again.
Few great hairs.
Jason really quick.
Yeah. His driver restarts second outside lane. Ross Chastain gets the jump.
Chastain holding on to the lead. Jesse Love trying to get to the inside of Taylor Gray, but can't do it and settles in third. Smith holding on in fourth as Mayer and Sawalich battle for fifth.
If these cars are building tighter.
Zilic is now up to the top 10. He's in ninth. The comeback charge almost complete.
Oh, it looks like he lost a bunch of momentum right there in the middle of 3 and 4. I don't know if he got up out of the groove. We saw the 8 get inside of him and put him in a bad position. Sam Mayer's on the inside trying to slide up in front of the 18 again.
Don't look now. Connor Zilic back in the top 10 after they had the loose lug nuts and struggled to make up much ground, but he slowly...
Oh, we got a wreck! Oh, it's Kingsbury! He gets turned by by Team, and Andrew Ranger runs into him.
And I know that's been frustrating for Connor getting in the back, and we heard his frustration on the radio. But it's so interesting how just the further forward you get, how each car you pass, your car will handle just a little bit better. He's put himself in a good position right here. If Jesse Love can clear the 41, we feel confident the 88's fast enough. The closer to the front, he needs to get a couple more restarts if he wants to get in position to be able to win this. I don't know that he'd be able to run the 54 down, but he has done a nice job, Adam, of recovering from that pit road issue they had at the end of stage 1.
Well, you know what? These are the kinds of positions you need to put yourself in, because he's someone we're going to be talking about in the fall that's got a real shot to win the championship. And it's not going to go perfect every week. There are going to be things that go wrong. You have to manage the bad times. And
Zilic now in 6th.
Now up to 7, now 6th in the running order.
It's so interesting you bring up the championship, Adam, because at the end of the year, I remember you had Zilic in your championship.
Ranger getting pushed
I was
off
like, he's a rookie.
track.
I think he's going to have a traditional rookie year. But he's proved me wrong. It's been incredible to watch what he's been able to do, and obviously I would say he's got to be the favorite right now. He or his teammate Justin Allgaier.
Yeah, I would agree.
You remembered I had Zilic in my championship.
All right, Love cutting to the inside of Sawalich for 5th, for 4th.
Thank you very much.
Mayer is back in 8th now.
Jesse
Zilic to the inside of Sawalich.
Sawalich in the 18. Here comes Zilic for another one. He's back to the top.
He's going to get 5th now. Sawalich goes to 6th. And Harrison Burton is right behind him.
We've seen him trying to work the top.
Sawalich not getting 5th just yet. Chastain runs the fastest lap of the day.
He's going to have a little bit of clean air on the front end, not in the preferred lane. We'll see how much he forces the issue. You see Harrison Burton right there behind him, so if he can't make this pass, he might go back. You know, it's like you don't gain 1, you might lose 2 or 3. You see he's driving in there trying to slide up. Oh,
Zilic slide jobs it. He takes and clears for 5th.
I was cringing for him.
He had to earn it. You know, that reminded me of an ARCA race 2024, because anytime those two showed up, they just went head to head, and it was a bar fight between that young duo.
Well, they had a heck of a battle here. You know, those last few restarts they had here at the ARCA race last year was a lot of fun to watch William and Connor go at it.
You know, Sheldon Creed back there in the 00 has been quiet today, but doing what they need to do. They have to manage the end of the regular season. He wants to win, no doubt about that. And in that long winless streak, you know, still looking for his first career victory, but you also have to do what it takes to get into the playoffs.
Absolutely. And look at Harrison Burton. Like, we have talked about the day that he needs to have versus Jeb Burton on this cut line. We've talked about it. You know, I mean, he's been on the cut line every single week since Daytona. What a run. I mean, they unloaded and had really good speed in practice. Qualifying did not go their way. He's battling the Gibbs car right now for 6th position on the racetrack. 25 cars gained 5 stage points today. And look at the position he is in right now. Plus 20, that's the most, that would be the biggest gain he has had on the cut line all year long. So great job.
Well, it helps
to
the driver in 12th.
Well, you referenced the
wallowing
fact that he's
in
racing
36 or so.
Car. He made his 2nd career start in the Xfinity Series for Joe Gibbs Racing right here at Iowa 2019 and finished in the 4th position. He was so good as a rookie at Gibbs. Won 4 races. Now driving for AM Racing after a stint at the Cup level and trying to put this team in the playoffs.
And I don't think you can say enough about Harrison as a person and what he's been through over the past 5 years of his career. He's had a lot of tremendous opportunities, but he's also had a lot of heartache, and he's had the highest highs and the lowest lows. And to be a part of building AM Racing, coming back in and being a part of hiring all those people, and then to have the success they had, I thought Dylan asked him a great question earlier about, you know, is just making the playoffs, is that the expectation of this team. Like, are you excited just to be in the conversation? He's like, yeah. He's like, so just to be in that position is incredible, but what they're doing today, awesome.
The other thing I would say about him, and we're back to the lead here, but I just want to pay this off on Harrison Burton as we watch Chastain and Taylor Gray 1-2. They've lost some parts and pieces throughout the year.
Right.
It's a product of their success, right?
They've been too successful.
Yeah, everyone's noticed. They said, hey, we'd love to have you over here. And so they've not only built a great team, but they've had to hit the curveball and replace people throughout the year, and they've done it quite successfully. On board here, Daniel Dye. This is the battle for 14th as he chases Ryan Sieg Hocevar right in front of them.
I'm rewatching the incident with
the restart.
I'm trying to rewatch
on those
while this is going on. I'm trying to rewatch the incident between Kids and Kingsbury.
Right now, Dylan.
See how that went down.
And you just saw him get up behind the 35 car. They've got a little bit of trash on the grill.
They're side by side, coming out of 3-4. They get together. The 9 and they spin together. Actually, so he wasn't turned. He's not turning. They spun together in the turn, and then Ranger ran into him.
Earlier than everybody else. So the risk of that is you pit off sequence, and then you get a yellow.
I think we're green again.
Your strategy. So
leads LaRue second, LeBay third, Pennington fourth, and I think Vargas fifth now.
Pit stop, though, but a good day and a good strategy move from Philip Bell here to get the 8th in track position.
Yeah, and Dylan, what I would say is it shows
trying to make up from
you get a late race caution, tires aren't going to be worth, the stop
Gillick's
right
up
there.
to fourth now.
And he still has 30 laps.
Trying to catch up on old tires, Sammy Smith.
But I just think the 8 car has shown everyone else that tires aren't going to be as important as track position today.
90 to go. Chastain leads. Look at the guys second, third, and fourth, and all the cars they passed today.
Mayer's up to 6th. He's passed
Sammy
the
Smith
Wallet.
from the back. Zilich has the penalty. He's driven from deep in the field. Jesse Love 5th. You saw the battle there for 6th. Mayer and Sawalich. Justin Bonsignor has made his way to the top 10. Attaboy there.
Awesome run for Justin. That's great to see because
he's from my area of the world,
super
Long
talented
Island
race car driver, but you get these limited opportunities at this level and you have to capitalize
feel
on
the pride
it. And he
there.
hasn't been able to do that yet, but this is a tremendous run for him. Happy to see him having a great day here at Iowa.
And for third,
I bet that car's handling better now. What do you think? I bet there's no F-bombs on the radio at this moment. Yeah, Connor Zilich has done a great job getting back up through here. See him trying to pass his teammate, and he's been able to make that bottom work. You know, we saw him get by the 18 of Sawalich a little bit ago, and his move has been down here in turns 3 and 4. Same thing right there. Drive in, be able to get to the throttle and slide up in front of those cars. I think that was maybe a teammate being a teammate, not racing too hard right there.
After winning the opening stage, Zilich had the loose wheel, had to come from deep in the field. He's back in the game, third behind Chastain and Gray.
At Ace, our buckets hold so much more than paint.
Burton's
They
trying to
hold
get by
dreams and hope
Sawalich.
for children.
All right, let me mute
This
this
weekend,
again. Missing Sawalich might be fading on this run. All right, we're past halfway in Chaudière.
Are affected by that as
Teague
well,
is still
because
leader,
they pitch off
LaRue,
the
and then
exhaust pipe,
LeBay.
you risk losing horsepower.
Yeah, tough to see there if he's got the exhaust exiting underneath the car or out the side there.
The oldest driver in the field against... Oh, got a caution.
Fun, but you don't necessarily need it as we hit the halfway break now.
Okay, a break. There's a giant hole on the right side of the 80 car. They're probably got to patch that up. I hope people enjoyed the Junior Motorsports video today. I'm certainly proud of it. It took me several days to put together. And so same for tomorrow's video, which is on the wins of Andretti Global. When combined with the wins of their predecessor team, Team Green, the team has a combined 100 victories in IndyCar, which I can't believe no one jumped on that. And people say they're different teams. It was literally called Andretti Green Racing when they went to IndyCar because Michael Andretti became a co-owner with Barry and Kim Green still the owners, and then Andretti assumed full control. Hell, TWG Group controls the team now, so I don't know what you think of that, but in my opinion, it's all one team. It's 100 victories. There's that mini rant over. Trying to put together some more win videos. Trying to find a good picture of Lenny Pond's number 54 car from when he won at Talladega in 1978. I have an okay one I think I'll use. That was the first win for Rainier Lundy Racing. That was the team that had that used the 28 car during the 80s with Buddy Baker, Bobby Allison, Cale Yarborough, Davey Allison. So ranging from the Grey Ghost to the Hardee's machine, and then of course the Texaco Haviland Beast. All right, we're back to green.
Kim
Back to Practical Racing at Iowa.
Leads. Taylor Gray is second. The rest of the
back
top
from
five,
commercial. There we go.
Smith and Love.
Chastain working through traffic.
You see Chastain catching all these lap cars. This either really can benefit a leader or crush them, because they're going to race the leader a little bit harder than they are Taylor Gray behind him. This track is all about momentum. You see when guys lose just a little bit of momentum, how big of a run the guy behind them can get. The fact that they're lined up in front of the 9, 54 could capitalize on this. It's all just kind of about the timing of where you catch that car and where they go on the racetrack, and how good your car is. Like, you see the 9 really getting squirrely on the bottom. It looks to me like the 9 car's super loose along the bottom of the racetrack.
This is such a big product of short track racing. You can run, but you can't hide. And what changes the game, even though you have an advantage, is you have to sort your way through the lap traffic. Saw him going around the 53 of Joey Gase. He'll do double duty this weekend. Driver from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Going around the 70 of Thomas Annunziata. And problems for the 45 of Mason Massey. Will this produce?
Well, he's on the high lane. If he can get down, I think he'll be fine.
He
problem is getting down from the high lane at Iowa's a chore.
Get to pit road. I thought for sure.
Get the power down.
Debris
Get
came
down
off that.
Maybe flat tire.
Throw the caution if you think there's
left front or something.
Left front tire.
Brake rotor on the racetrack, but it looks to me like all the tires are up on that car.
That thing's bouncing around a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. It's definitely gotten into the wall. You can see the Goodyear's gone off of that right front tire, but all the tires look aired up to me.
So Massey makes it back. We stay green.
And Sammy Smith needed that caution too.
He would have loved it.
Yeah, like we've heard he's going to need to pit in the next 6 laps.
Air.
So he
then he'll go multiple laps down
immediately, or let this thing go the rest of the way and let the cycle
Still
of the pit stops.
The margin is 3.6 seconds.
Really
while Chastain is borrowed in traffic. Stuck behind Blaine Perkins a bit.
Smith came down at lap 92. They got their service, and then they stayed out at the end of stage 2 when everyone else made their scheduled pit stops. And Dylan's done a great job of talking about what that's created for them, but they've really done a nice job of executing, maintaining position.
God, it looks like something broke on that car. You saw it literally just went straight. It's almost like it got on the splitter. I know I talked about in practice and qualifying, that car, the ride quality looked terrible on that thing. Almost looked like something broke, and the car just went straight. It was not a flat tire.
Talking about the strategy, and you see laps since these drivers were last on the pit lane, and Sammy Smith down there in the 4th position. It's been a long time for him, but what about Brandon Jones? Had the speeding penalty and tried to take advantage playing strategy, and they're up to 15th right now, Kim.
Yeah, making moves, and we saw a handful of drivers come on that lap 141 caution, and that was about with 109 laps to go. Their fuel window, give or take, was about 100 laps, so they were outside that window, and I heard from a couple of teams that came down that stop that they thought they were about 6-ish laps short. So what are they telling Brandon now at this point? Here was the radio communication from the team to him.
We're right at the fuel window here, but we're going to go hard. Try to make up as many spots as you can. Map to save a little way later in this run, but I think there'll still be more yellows.
So the 20 maybe a little bit better on the fuel than some of the other cars, like the Colin cars who thought they were about 6 short. But Jamie, would you be wanting to save at this point, or are you listening to your crew chief?
Well, I like the fact that they know this right away. And so it allows you to capitalize on the restart. And then if I'm Brandon, even when I get to clean air, if they're not saying save fuel, I'm probably going to lift just a little bit early, start putting a little bit in the bank. But Kim, the one that I'm looking at is some of the other guys that pitted at the same time. One of those being Eckes that he just passed, and then Hocevar's in the best position. So you got to wonder, is there a few guys? I mean, Hocevar has nothing to lose, right? There's no points for them. They're here to win the race. So if you know that, immediately you can start saving small amounts, but then you got to commit to it, right? If you see the leaders pit, you either have to commit to them and pit right away, or start saving a lot then when that cycle pits through.
I rewind the last week in Indianapolis, and I just feel like that's a place where you could really save. What about here? I mean, this doesn't seem like the kind of place where you want to be trying to save fuel.
Yeah, I would think it's probably a little easier once it gets spread out. Obviously, on the restarts, you're not going to be able to save fuel. But I mean, Adam, it's all about just lifting earlier, right?
Top
Maybe
two have not won a race this
slower.
season.
6 laps
One
doesn't
hasn't
sound
won,
to
period.
me like
And
that
Phillips
doesn't sound
looking
like a
for 4 in a
massive
row.
amount on a track of this size. 6 laps at Michigan, probably going to say it's going to be a little bit harder, right? 6 laps here at the 7/8 mile racetrack, that seems doable to me, if that's a real number. I know that sometimes these crew chiefs throw numbers out, and that wasn't really what it was. I think if that's a real number, that's very doable for Brandon Jones.
Good battle here.
It's out of Jesse Love.
It's Jesse Love and Sam Mayer
spot.
go at it.
And we thought Jesse Love was in contention to win this at one point in the day, and it seems like the handling, though, great qualifying effort, but as this races went on, it seems like the handling of that 2 cars just went away.
You know, he had a
30.
And it's interesting to me, short track racing has not been his thing. If you look at average finish at all the different types of racetracks, short track racing is really where they have lacked. Some of that maybe has just been execution, whatever, speed in the race car. Some of it's been bad luck, and that's what they had here a year ago. But he's solid today. As you said, at one point we thought he might be in position to win it. He's now 6th, and he'll pick up a spot. Is Sammy Smith going to make his scheduled green flag pit stop? We heard it was going to come just north of lap 180, and here he is, lap 184, coming down with 66 laps to go. And now he just hopes it stays green, and everybody else has to pit under the green flag, Dylan.
Yeah, that's right. They went literally as long as they could. Lap 183 was the max they could go on fuel. They made it there. They'll come down in here and change 4 tires and fuel. The leaders are expected to pit, I heard, around lap 210 as the earliest part of the window. They can go to as long as lap 225. So at minimum, they probably need about 25 to 30 laps here of no yellow. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble. But routine service for the 8 here. We'll see how they cycle out.
It's a short track. We've had 5 cautions, 2 of those for stage end. You would think by the average, we're going to get more yellows. However, if you think about the way this day has played out, it's got a green flag feel. It could all come back to the driver from Johnston, Iowa.
And if it goes green, it's a huge benefit for him to pit early like that. He's going to be able to run a half to 3/4 of a second quicker than these guys when he leaves the pits based on how he hits traffic. So if it runs green, you're a hero. If not, not so good.
Just over 60 laps to go. Chastain, Gray, Zilich, Mayer, Love, your top 5 at Iowa Speedway on CW.
There are places no cell network can reach. Trust me, I've been there. That's why T-Mobile now has a cell network with 600 dedicated satellites that automatically connect to your phone. Verizon doesn't even have 10. And when you try to connect to them, you got to...
Rep TV.
Wait, right? Oh, wait. Halfway break is ending. Go back to another commercial. Come on.
Xfinity Series, 5 races to go in the regular season. We're at Iowa Speedway on CW, inside of 60 laps remaining. Ross Chastain leading this race. He's led the most laps today, 107 out front. Taylor Gray had brake problems, didn't make a qualifying run, starts in the back. He is second. Connor Zilic is third after they had to make a second pit stop in stage 1 when they had a lug nut issue. So there are a few drivers in the field that have had to overcome it today. And now we get to the stretch run, and all these guys up front are going to have to make another pit stop, and it'll come somewhere between lap 200, 220, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, and Adam, if these guys do have to make a green flag pit stop, it's a tricky pit road to get onto. We didn't have a chance to comment on that when Sammy Smith came in, but it kind of catches you off guard. And I actually said in the practice and qualifying, like, well, the odds of a green flag pit stop are pretty slim here. But at this point, we're within about 15 laps of seeing all these guys, or most of these guys, make a green flag stop. And you got to think that that advantage goes to Chastain because he's done it so many more times than what Taylor Gray has. But so many times these rookies surprise you and what they're good at, and that might be the deciding factor in who wins this race and doesn't.
Harrison Burton, 7th,
Paul
having a
and
great
Burton
day.
for
Carson
7.
Waffle trying to get that spot away. Carson seeing Iowa Speedway for the first time and doing a nice job. Rookie for Junior Motorsports. Won 7 of the last 8 races as an organization with 4 different drivers. There have been 6 drivers that won for them so far this year. Chastain trying to make it 7 out front. What a year for JRM. What a year for Team Chevy.
Tell you, Chastain's done a great job getting through traffic. And it just seems like it's like this accordion, right? You see Taylor Gray get close to him in one corner, and then the timing of those lap cars, he loses it. But this is by far the closest we've seen Taylor be able to
within
get.
2 seconds.
He's going to run the lane he needs. He wants those lap down cars to give him the top, right? That's how you can carry the momentum. It's going to hold him up right here. Chastain's got a little bit of breathing room right in front of him.
Hey, I'll say this for Zilic, who's a couple of seconds back in third. At one time, he was 5 seconds back, I think, when he got that third position.
He's made up a lot of ground.
So he's really fast. And, who knows when the fall off could come over the course of the long haul. And, as you talk about making a green flag pit stop, if that happens, the ground you could make up or lose there. But the 88 very much in the game right now.
Yeah, and it's funny, you bring that up, Adam, because I said 40 laps ago, I'm like, well, he's so far back, he'll never catch the leaders. But that's a really good point. He's just consistently gotten through traffic better. And I think some of that is the fact that they race the leader harder, right? I mean, like when you're getting lapped, you're always going to race the leader harder, trying to stay on the lead lap. Once you get back to 3rd, 4th, 5th, you don't race those guys as hard because there's nothing to gain by holding them up other than making them mad. And you hope that catches back up with you at another race if you're the guy on the lead lap lapping somebody. So you got to kind of work together with everybody.
In 34.
And there's a caution.
Oh.
6-1 of the day.
Daniel Dye.
And that's Daniel Dye.
Well, there goes our strategy. Yeah. There goes all the strategy we had planned out.
So, hey, updating Sammy Smith. He had lost a lap in the pit stop exchange, but he stayed 1 lap down. So he'll be in a position here to do the wave around. And he's not going to be top 5 in the running order, but it's not going to be as bad as it could have been without the green flag cycle playing out. And you see Dye getting unbuckled here.
Yeah, he obviously knows he's...
Down. I guess we're done.
Yeah, you hear the spotter say, I guess we're
He's
done.
done?
The window net's
Damn.
down. I didn't... The damage didn't look that bad from the... Well...
That's one way to look at it. That looks worse.
As Paul Harvey would say, and now you know the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Dye coming off a top 10 finish last week in Indianapolis and was top 10 here at Iowa 1 season ago and having a good day today.
And you see him driving underneath Josh Bilicki right here. Oh.
Whoa!
You see it looks like a right front.
Tire went flat, and he got
down
hit by
the
the
middle of the
91
corner.
as he was
Then he got clipped just
flying
a
up
little
the
bit by
track to the
Josh, who's
flat.
made that angle
Damn.
even worse.
Double whammy right there.
If you watch the hood right here, you're going to see it pop up. Yep, right there. Red tire pop. That's the first tire issue we've heard.
All right. So while it's going on, I'm going to keep track of the Canada race. LaRue to the inside, trying to take the lead from Teej. It's his 4th start. And he's almost clear. He is clear. Will LaRue, the leader at Chaudière. Oh,
Billy just hold in.
Nope.
The car to beat here today.
Yeah, the 45 car looks like the class of the field right now.
Let's see if for the first time the leader will get to pull away. LeBay to the inside of Teej.
Behind him. Take nothing away from Donald Teej. Quickest in practice, sat on pole here today. That car has been dynamite as well, but it looks like damage to the right side may be affecting his long run here with 160 laps in the books of a schedule.
90 to go.
So just like that, we're flying through this race.
Maybe a future Canada Series champion here.
Out in front and able to open up.
Imagine that. We could have two first-time winners back-to-back in the Canada Series.
Over the 80 car of Donald Teej, and Teej has some company, and it's Alex LeBay. So LeBay saw the 45 make the inside work around Donald Teej. So now the Lucier sponsor number 36 is moving down low again.
Yeah, and if LeBay believes that his car is as good as the 45.
Spins it! That's a drifted car through 1 and 2. LeBay loses his battle for second.
Doing some dirt modified racing in the past with Dominic Lucier, who's our car owner on the 36 car, and he used every bit of that knowledge there going into
Lucien LeBay, LL Motorsports.
Holding a fancy wheel, I think they call it at that point, as he had to use a little bit of pedaling, a little bit of steering, and hung on to it. But just behind this battle for second is the 17 of DJ Kennington, who now has Matthew Kingsbury in the Dura King number 9 just behind him. So those two are having a great battle for 4th and 5th.
Yeah, we know that 9 car is fast.
Yeah, so he was the one who went around after contact with the 80, as he was your race leader at the time. And so Matthew Kingsbury has been able to trench his way back up through this field and make honest passes. It wasn't handed to him on restarts. He's had to do this a lot on speed.
LaRue is pulled away.
So now the 45, about a second and a half, opened up a gap on the 80 car of Donald Teej. There you see your race leader from Quebec City, Will LaRue.
Vargas is back to 9th.
Who has raced here before, and as a matter of fact,
Rangers back in 13th. I think Kennington will take a pretty decent lead now in the points.
On the 45 car, so far so good for that team here today, and the gap now about half a straightaway back to the 80 car of Donald Teej, who has settled in nicely and is able to hold off the 36 of Alex LeBay.
Yeah, LeBay looks like he's struggling a little bit to get that car on the bottom. Keep that car on the bottom. I don't know if he's going to be able to complete the pass on the 80.
He's going to certainly keep trying, as you can see the flame from the exhaust pipe as LeBay is pushing to try and get back on the gas a little bit sooner, get that drive up off the corner. As you can see, 4th, 5th, and 6th all together now.
Caution.
Track as we jump on board once again with Alex Gannett as the caution flag flies once again here in the Bud Light.
Oh, we got car around. That is Larry Jackson in the 84.
Superior Propane number 84 of Larry Jackson. Again, that team coming.
All right. Pit stop's getting ready to happen.
Enjoy it more in the moment, have fun like that, and enjoy it. I always took everything so serious. So I think that's great. Jason can have a little fun.
But you and I have known him for a long time, and you worked with him.
It wasn't always that way.
Over 20 years ago. I was going to say, now from the seat that I sit in, he's the same guy he's always been. Right. But hearing you talk, maybe Jason's doing business a little different now than he did, 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah, great guy. Been around a long time, had a lot of wins, won with a lot of different drivers. I'm sure it'd mean the world to him to get Taylor Gray's first Xfinity Series win today.
Well, and he just does such a great job of seeing the big picture. And I think, everyone, and we experience it every week, go in the garage. It's hard to do that in this sport. You're so much about the here and the now and what's next and taking what's right in front of you. And Jason Ratcliffe's such a great leader because he can see it from 10,000 feet and understand what you need to do to best set you up for success down the road. Pit stop's going to be huge, and I think about the hiccups we've had today, and in particular, 88 had the loose wheel, and you know they want to give it back here and put him in position.
That's right where I was going, Adam. I was thinking, you know, you put us behind at the beginning. You got a chance to redeem yourself right here and put us out in the front.
It's going to be Chastain, Gray, Zilich, Mayer, and Love, the top 5. Pit stops coming with 42 to go. Progressive pit road is open. Big stops here, Kim.
Money stops.
Yeah, and Chastain eager to be that 7th different JRM driver to win in 2025. Said just managing the tightness in the corner. Corey Shea, the crew chief, said, we'll get you turning a little bit better with an air pressure adjustment. Looks a little slow on that right side. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco, Gill. You see the 88 of Connor Zilich in the middle. 3 in, tight center, but very manageable. No major adjustments, Dylan.
Report for Taylor Gray on the handling of his race car said he was edgy in, tight in the center, and
I thought that might have looked a
no
little
changes
slow
other
in
than the
88,
4
but he's
set
right
of
behind
tires
Chastain.
the 4 tires that we just talked about. Here's the race off pit road. Sam Mayer as well on the right of the screen. He said that he was too tight. They're going to change 4 tires as well. Just
Jones, Allgaier, Chastain.
Long stop for the 54. All
Zilich.
lead cars come. Jones and Allgaier playing
Love,
games.
Sawallic,
They pick up a
Quappel,
bunch
Mayer,
of
Creed,
positions.
Bonsignor.
Chastain, the best of those that takes 4. Zilich comes out behind him. And we were just celebrating the success for Taylor Gray and Jason Ratcliffe. And now they're going to be behind again.
How far back?
Heartbreak. You saw, looked like that left rear. Oh, it's so frustrating. See the crew guys all upset. They wanted as much as anybody. Let's take a look right here. A couple of the lug nuts had fallen off. He was having to put those back on. Oh, it's frustrating. Yeah, not what the 54 car needed, but I like what you talked about there with Allgaier and Jones shaking it up a little bit, Adam. It's going to be fun to see what these guys can do. I mean, they're in a great position. Got the track position and 2 tires. Yep. It's a great position for those guys to be in, and enough fuel.
And I would say this, I mean, Jones had such a good race car early in this race. They just lost all the track position when he had the speeding penalty. Allgaier has not had as good a car today. We don't know what track position will do for him, but this could be enormous for Brandon Jones.
Well, and you got to wonder about the choose now, too. Mike Chastain's in 3rd. Like, where does he get to choose? Does he have to end up, if the first 2 take the outside, do you then go to the inside? Like Chastain kind of had the race under control. Not so much anymore.
Let's look at the golden moment presented by Golden Corral. And it is that race off pit road. You know, we said it. If you're not going to win a race, you're not.
I'm going to head back to... Okay, we're still under caution there. But
points he can actually go race now.
So it looks like just a complete restart. LaRue on the outside, and that is the reason for the caution just before our break.
Why are you showing it now? We're restarting. Show us.
84 of Larry Jackson through the Pinty's restart zone. We go again, and this time a much tidier start with Will LaRue leading him down the backstretch.
Be more aggressive here now that knows LaRue will have an advantage.
Yeah, you saw the 36. He's back there a little bit. He was really sideways on that restart there. And
like
he's gathered
LaRue
it back
clears,
up, but that allowed
trying to hold the
and
inside.
The 74 to get a leg up on him.
Yeah, Ryan Vargas right there too in the critical.
Vargas up to 5th,
out
to 4th. Teej trying to knock LaRue. Oh, hits his bumper.
Series. And again, he's seeing all of these tracks for the first time. So he has a lot to learn.
No, it's the quad. It's up to 4th now.
Sometimes unlimited practice.
Kennington to 3rd.
Yeah, he's doing a great job here, just keeping that car clean, and clearly as that's how this race is going. That's the name of the game here, is to be there at the end.
Battling with the 9 of Matthew Kingsbury is Ryan Vargas. This is at the front of the pack. Top 3 have stretched out single file. And the side-by-side battle is for 4th place between Alex LeBay and the 74 of Kevin Lacroix.
Choosing now in Iowa.
So there you see Vargas and the 9 of Matthew Kingsbury. I thought LeBay dropped off a little bit there. It looked like he lost some momentum, but he comes back solid on the inside of 1 and 2. Now he'll drop in behind the Valvoline number 74. So maybe some problems on the 36 of Alex LeBay. Keep an eye on that car.
Yeah, if not just handling, he's really struggling.
He's been the one who's been on the inside more than anybody else. So it could just be that he said, you know what, I've abused my tires enough. Time to baby them, and we'll make a push for the end. Because you do save a little bit more tire when you use the outside groove compared to the inside one. As you see everybody, as I say that, he dives back down to the inside.
again, that's the only place you're going to be able to put the car to make these passes, as everyone has such good pace on the outside. Everyone's preferred line is...
All right, getting ready to restart again.
No doubt coming up later this month with a chance to win their way to the playoffs. Here we go, restart, 38 to go. Brandon Jones, the control car, front row, guys on 2 tires. Best on 4
Green, here we go. At Iowa.
Right here. Oh, he might be able to clear him.
Allgaier clears for the lead.
That is going to be huge. You see Chastain gives a little push to the 20.
Love to second. Oh, Zilich got stuck behind Chastain there. He's in 6th. Mayer to 3rd. Love to the inside. Takes the lead. Looking for his first win since Daytona.
Outside lane, Chastain and Zilich get held up, and here's Jesse Love on point with 37 to go.
Mayer wrapping the low line. There we go. Oh! Zilich turns Chastain. Wrecks, and it causes Allgaier to spin. Oh, how did no one hit him?
Man, Allgaier was on a little bit of defense right there. Let's go back and see.
Come on.
Caught up. Won't put 4 tires on it.
Jim Pullman. Well, all right, sit back and punt real quick again.
Nothing.
If you had said what's your pit card going to look like at the end of the day, and
not this,
and you wrote down the laps when they would pit, the tires they would take, you wouldn't have believed it. Here's what happened.
Yeah, you see.
Thanks, Connor.
Zilich gets loose.
Good save for Ross.
Today. 3 junior motorsports cars right there. Zilich gets loose, gets into the 9, who put it 3 wide, and then the 7's just the victim of all that. Oh, Connor. And they're lucky it didn't get multiple cars in that action. There'll be some frustration. There's no doubt Monday at the shop.
Well,
Nothing
hey.
intentional there, but you know, when it's your teammate, it's the worst.
You just start thinking regular season championship, and the difference here. I mean, Allgaier goes in the wrong direction. Zilich able to drive through. Zilich got the 10 stage points earlier, and we got to have a major change at the front when you talk about the regular season crown on the line and only 4 races to go.
We haven't had a rookie
today.
win the championship since Tyler Reddick.
So we'll take a break. Just over 30 to go. Jesse Love leading in Iowa.
Okay, so we're waiting. Oh, another caution at
That's going to evaporate his lead that was built up to about 1.4
So who
seconds.
spun at Chaudière?
Field. You see the field all wooing up, and we're looking around. It looks like there's a car up in the berm on turn 1 and 2. So that is a big misstep up in turn 1 and 2. And the reason for the caution, we'll get a replay when we come back. You're watching
Ranger
Autodrome Chaudière here on Rev TV.
out on hand.
It's packed.
I mean, they were out last night for the ARCA race. Graduated up a little bit today, close to a sellout crowd for the Cup race tomorrow. Such a great region of the country. They've had an entertaining afternoon. Mentioned 7th caution of the day. It comes on a restart here.
Yeah, you see Jesse Love. That's the one we're going to pay attention to on the inside as well. That outside, Brandon Jones did not get going. You see right here, Chastain tried to force it 3 wide. That whole lane gets checked up. I was shocked at how much better the 4 tires fired off than 2. You see Jesse sails it off down into turn 3. We see that's been a great passing zone today, driving in there and sliding up in front of him.
So where's Chastain now?
Here's 2 radio Jesse Love on getting the lead last restart.
3rd and 4th. Chastain and still 3rd and 4th.
Grip as usual, taking off. Well, you got all the grip in the world now because you're the leader. So figure out how to get it done here, son. You got this, okay? You can do this today. Execute.
I feel like Danny's like his stepdad or something right there. You know what I mean? Like, it's so good.
He just doesn't hold back, you know?
He doesn't, I know. Yeah, he works his tail off, though, and that's where the passion comes from. All those guys at RCR, they're all so passionate. We got to spend some time up there. RC on top of the trailer. Guy has seen it all.
Oh, he has. Been so successful, a staple in this sport for so many years. One of my favorite things doing these broadcasts is when he pops up on the radio.
Right.
Doesn't say a lot, but when he speaks, it's powerful.
Absolutely.
And, you know, see Danny Stockman, I just think about what he did with Austin Dillon a number of years ago, leading him to Rookie of the Year, the next year the championship, trying to do that with Love. Love goes outside, Mayer inside here.
Yeah, and I think it's just the aggression level. We saw, you know, the lead get on the bottom the last restart. I think this will be a little more of a challenge for Sam, but he's been able to make the bottom work. I've seen him choose the bottom on a lot of these, and interestingly enough, Zilich takes the bottom as well. So these guys know, like, the gloves are off at this point in this, and everyone's going to sail it off in the corner and hope it sticks. It's going to be fun to watch these guys try to do this as clean as possible.
Mayer looking for his first win of the year, trying to go back-to-back here. It'd be the first win for Ford in 2025. Sawalich needs to win to make the playoffs. He's up there in the front 3 rows. What a comeback it would be for Brandon Jones. Remember, he's on 2 tires. Made that last pit stop to gain the track position.
Yeah, don't count Sawalich out. It wouldn't shock me to see someone on the inside slide up into a car on the outside and take multiple ones out right here, trying to go for the win with 30 laps to go.
Be in the control car outside lane means
green.
Didn't mean as much last time, but Love going to try to make it happen here from that outside lane.
See, the 9 gives a pretty good push to Jesse Love. He's going to have that momentum on the exit. Ooh, the 9 can't stay with him, though.
All right. Mayer is still in 2nd behind Jesse Love.
Jumps up to 2nd.
Still it's on the inside of Chastain for 3rd.
Racing there with Ross Chastain.
Still has to go to 4th.
I thought we would see a little more contact. Mayer's put himself in a great position, though, Adam. Won this race last year. Had that issue early on where he missed his pit stall, but great recovery. I mean, both
Ford has not. Oh, he got another spin. Oh no, it's not. It's a flat. De Benedetto. I think he's got a flat tire.
Yeah, and that's going to be some oil on the racetrack. They're gonna. I gotta think that's.
No, it's flat tire. It's the left front flat.
Stay green right now. Caution, and Mayer not letting Love get away.
No. Oh yes. I think it's the left front flat, not a flat tire. Mayer cuts to the inside. Oh, let Love slip up. Oh, Jones around. It was oil.
I can't believe they didn't throw the caution.
I thought it was a flat tire.
The car was smashed in the front. It did look like it was a tire rub. Oh, that'd make me mad.
Well, that's frustrating, right? De Benedetto coming off that top 12 run last week at Indy, limps it back to pit road. Caution number 8, and it is significant.
Ross is back to 6.
Yeah, I would have. I mean, you're going to hope that all those spotters had seen that, and they're like, hey, be careful, knowing like what's going to happen there. But you saw some of those guys maybe a little lower. It was a narrow path. We'll see real quick what happened to Matt getting down into turn 1. Oh, it's so weird. It's like
check up. No, he never.
I honestly don't know what happened right there. It's like they started to check up. I don't know if he was mad at the 17.
I'm so confused. I thought it was a left front flat. I was wrong.
Yeah, it's already have happened right there. I mean, honestly, it looked to me like he was trying to wreck the 17, and it went wrong.
And then the car blew up.
Well, the 9 got into the oil along with the 20 right here. The 20 spun, but we saw the 9 go way up the racetrack.
Jesse Love also had to go
high, and that's where they were running.
And he lost the lead.
On the track.
On board Dean Thompson.
I think Dean's just trying to get slowed down there. Knows the 20 spinning out way up ahead of him, and the caution's going to come out.
Well, that ends Dibby's day.
Interesting to get Matt's perspective of if they just checked up in front of him and that's where the contact came from, but it almost looked like that contact continued on around the corner. So I don't know if he was frustrated or it was just from everybody checking up, and that was big contact though for on the straightaway.
You know, you and I were just talking about how this thing could play out. And we said, you get a caution inside of 40 laps to go and you start stacking restarts, and it's just going to be more and more cautions because everybody's running tight. You see the finish line, you get aggressive, there's contact, and it changes everything. And
three of the drivers in the top 5
have
not won a race
being
this
back
season.
in the race lead. He got
One
around
hasn't won
Jesse
at all.
Love. Here is 2 radio.
There's oil all over the racetrack, bud. Yeah, I just ran through it. 10-4. Did we just rust through it? Is that what happened? Only car I saw smoking was above the new asphalt. I didn't think there was any issue. That was not the case.
This race, can the 45 hold on? Going to be an exciting finish.
You're not wrong about that, Todd. Absolutely. And we're
Todd Lewis, the pit
break, we
reporter.
have an opportunity to head down, check pit side with your Pinty's pit report, and bring in Todd Lewis. Todd?
Well, just checking in with the team and that 27 car, they don't think that anything is broken. Andrew just got way high, way loose, and drifted off into the berm. So he stayed in the car. They're going to check it out and see if maybe he will be able to continue. But again, everyone is focusing on the points battle, as you guys have dictated. DJ Kennington, the one right now, in a good position to capitalize. Kevin Lacroix, not too bad as well. We may see some battles.
Lacroix, though, is trying to dig out of a hole from most sports. He's 23 points out of the lead.
Can the 45 hold on? Going to be an exciting finish.
You're not wrong about that, Todd. Absolutely, and we are here for it on Rev TV. Absolutely, looking forward to bringing it into you. But yeah, this is the kind of race that DJ Kennington loves when it comes to a points battle. As the 27 heads back to the. As well, the setting for pit lane, and that'll put the start back in the hands of Will LaRue as he heads through the Pinty's restart zone. You hear the
green at Chaudière.
We see the green
Feeds
flag once
carting
again,
to the inside.
And 2 by 2 in through 1 and 2.
Will he make any contact? Doesn't look like it yet. Into the next turn.
Kevin Lacroix.
LaRue is clear. Lacroix trying to go around the high side. Can you get around Kennington?
Number 74 battling with the Castrol Edge Dodge, a battle of the oil brands for 3rd spot as Kennington has the inside
Castrol or
of the
Valvoline,
Dodge.
take
Kevin
your
Lacroix
pick.
the Chevrolet upstairs.
Like Kennington will close the door on Lacroix.
There's Dexter Stacy, a little wiggle as he battles with Dave Corsol in the 54. He saw the white and blue number 3 in the black and gray number 54. There they are again. But back at the front, single file, and now a 3-way battle. This is for 3rd. Alex LeBay
is back. Kingsbury almost wrecking LeBay there.
And it looks like the momentum on the outside is too much for Alex LeBay.
Yeah, really heads-up move there by Kennington to get clear of the 74, jump up to the high side and set sail. And that 9 car, he's coming.
Yeah, Kingsbury was so fast, he went for a spin off contact with the 80 of Donald Teague. And you're right, Kingsbury is very much in the mix here now as he works the outside. He's hoping that Kevin Lacroix can clear the 36 quickly. And it looks like the Duraking Chevrolet is going to continue his march towards the front of the field. He's up to the rear corner of the Lucien.
I don't think anyone has anything for LaRue, though.
Yeah, the 36 is just trapped there on the bottom. Rare in this that you're bottom.
There we go. But We're back at Iowa.
Saw some frustration in stage 2 with Connor Zilic, but you think back to last week, you know you're going fast on the track when one of your win stickers flies off during the race. Connor Zilic said halfway through the race at Indy, he looked in his rear view mirror and saw one had flown back onto his spoiler. Said he went back Monday to see if anyone actually got a photo of it, and he pointed it out to everybody on X this week. Now, his engineer did move it back in victory lane, but Connor lobbying this week that the winning die cast better include that fun detail. What do you think, Adam?
I think it belongs, and I saw that post on social media, and a great catch and a really cool photo. And I guess when your win stickers are blowing off and you look above the door and it still looks like you've won a lot, I mean, it makes a statement on what kind of season you're having. Should be 5 of them up there if you're keeping track at home.
There's a lot of guys that wish they had Connor's problems.
Someone to go steal it off the spoiler and put it on their car.
At 19, I wish I'd had those issues.
Let's go to Kim.
Yeah, Connor Zilic looking for the 4th win in a row. A late race restart. Crew Chief Marty Lindley, how would you rank your driver on restarts?
I wouldn't bet against him, that's for sure. You know, long day,
Well,
had some issues on pit road and was able to recover from it. And, you know,
No,
hey,
okay.
we got into
It's his 4th start.
I don't know that we really got in our teammate. It's just a racing deal, and one was going for the middle, and Connor was in the bottom, and it just caused hate for the 7 car. But you just want to thank everybody at
Ranger
Junior
pulling
Motorsports,
off.
and hopefully Connor can get it done right here.
All right, good luck. Dylan, not only are they looking for their 4th win, outside of that, it would be the 10th straight top 5 for this 88 team.
And Kim, the race leading 41 team of Sam Mayer looking for their 1st win of the year. Jason Trincheri is the shot caller here. Okay, you've got the 2 and the 88 behind you. They've been pretty good today, but where do you feel like you guys are better?
I think we've been pretty good all day, too. We just haven't really had the track position. Even back in traffic, we had pretty decent lap times. This Audible 4 Mustang's been pretty fast. We haven't really touched it all day. Even in practice, I had good speed. So Sam likes this place. Hopefully we can close it out.
We've got a pretty good look at this cleanup process underway right here. Does that influence what lane you choose on this restart, or how does that look?
Red flag it. It's going to take a long time to clean up. In that case, I'm just going back to Chaudière.
Will LaRue
20 to go, 19 to go.
Just ahead, and that lap traffic is the 27 of Andrew Ranger.
I think is that
now with a handful of laps
JF
to go.
Dumoulin in the pits.
And
on
just
the
ahead
04.
of your leader, it might be close enough that he'll get into that gaggle of traffic here on this green flag run.
Marc-Antoine Cameron is on track
of
with his
this race.
wounded car.
Certainly, that'll make things interesting, especially if those lapped cars are up on the high line. The 45 will have to jump down to the bottom in a much slower line.
Ranger in 15th spot, 20 laps down to your race leader, just ahead of the 45 of Will LaRue. Continues to pace the field. He's now 1.6 seconds up on Donald Teach, DJ Kennington, Kevin Lacroix, and Matthew Kingsbury. We talked about how good that Duro King number 9 of Kingsbury was. Seems as though his progress stalled when he couldn't quite get around the 74 of Kevin Lacroix, who actually started turning up the pressure on the 17 of DJ Kennington.
Yeah, and I'll say it again, you know, the name of this race is track position. If you can't pass on the bottom, everyone's up high, you have no option. You can't go higher than the guy in the high line. And
you can try if you're Andrew Ranger, and it doesn't work, as we saw. But Ranger now in 15th spot after getting trapped in that berm in turn 1 and 2. But you're absolutely right. And it looks like Kevin Lacroix is about half a groove lower than DJ Kennington. He just needs to be working right down on that yellow line.
Well, he's got to try something. If he's going to make this pass, he's got to make his car work below the 17.
LeVay is working on the 9 of Matthew Kingsbury. Everybody still chasing this driver, though. Will LaRue, a lead of almost 2 seconds, and he'll have 11 laps to go this time past the stripe. Donald Teach comfortably sits in 2nd spot ahead of DJ Kennington. We talked about the jumble in points after today's event. DJ Kennington will be happy to sit there in the Castrol Edge Dodge, just hold off the 74 for a little while. Now let's head back. I think we've got Todd. Let's head back pit side and check in one more time.
I can barely hear him.
I guess with all the door action we've seen, not surprising to see a problem with the brake front.
couldn't
He's
hear.
on the 10 laps to go now. Fewer than that even, as Will LaRue continues to lay down a torrid pace. 8 laps to go for the driver, the LaRue Industrial Blowers, number 45, ahead of Donald Teach.
I remember seeing the news articles hyping up this dude on the NASCAR Canada
very
website.
shortly, but he does
You
have
know
a
what?
gap to rest
I mean,
a little bit. He's got a lap down car in between.
The articles
Is he
are
looking
right.
in his mirror
Again,
and knowing
this
he
is
has
his
that
fourth
comfortability
start
to ease
ever
off a little bit?
in the
Yeah,
Canada
his
Series.
spotters telling him,
He's
hey,
young,
just cruise here. You're
which
going to be
means
able to complete
he'll
these
be able
6
to run
laps.
for
We're
a couple
all praying
decades,
up here that
probably.
there's no caution.
At least a decade.
Absolutely, Will LaRue doing the same. There he is, the move over flag
And
for
this
the
is a series
slower
that needs
traffic
new
ahead,
blood
and more
to
importantly,
stay.
5
Alex
laps
LeVay
to
didn't
go for
stay.
your
Neither
race leader,
Lapsevich brother could
Will
stay.
LaRue.
Scott Steckley's
In
team
the
is gone
45,
from the
he's had
series.
a dream day
4 to
so
go.
far. Will LaRue qualified in 8th spot. So he did have to come up through the field a little bit, but he did so very, very quickly and smartly as well. He didn't force any issues. He knew how fast his race car was, methodically worked his way up through the field.
Yeah, that car is super clean. There was all kinds of carnage that he could have been involved in, but a very smart race by the 45.
Well, he's got
Some
a
lap
lot
traffic
of
up ahead,
just
but
ahead of him. He
not
will
enough
see
to
2
obliterate
go
the
this time
large
by
gap.
Past champion LP Dumoulin and the WeatherTech Dodge just out in front. And here's where the ease off starts for Will LaRue. He doesn't have to force his issue and weave his way.
There we
through
go,
this
white
lap
flag,
traffic
last
because
lap
he's looking at the white
at
flag this
Chaudière.
time by
I know we're also green at Iowa. Mayor is
For the
gone,
driver from
but
Quebec
I gotta
City,
finish this
about
one out.
40 minutes up
He
the
finished
road.
second
He's
at
got a lot of
Riverside.
family
He's
and
gonna
friends
seal
in
the
the
deal
crowd
one
here
position
tonight.
higher.
And
Coming out
off
of
of
4,
turn number
it's
4,
Will
Will
LaRue
LaRue will
winning
win
the
his
Bud Light
first race in the
250 at
NASCAR
Chaudière.
Canada Series.
Now back to regularly scheduled Iowa Speedway Xfinity race.
Great position he has put himself in for these playoffs.
Harrison
right
Burton's
now has
up
gained
to third
30
now.
points on the cut line. But I think even if you take the playoffs out of it, just to have the run that he has had today, good practice, struggled a little bit in qualifying, and to be racing Gibbs and RCR cars all day long for a top 3 position, great job by him.
He just keeps peeking out of line. I mean, he's really doing a good job of working Love here.
Yeah, he's
Burton
definitely
trying to
got
make
the
this
quicker car
pass.
right now than Jesse Love does. I think he just knows until he can complete the pass. If they get
Ford
side by
hasn't won a
side,
race
it's
all
gonna allow
year.
Chastain
Now
to
in this
close up
final
on them.
third of the
He's just
season,
kicking
they're
air
about,
right now on that
they could
left
go
rear.
1-2.
Trying to get Jesse Love up the racetrack
Side by
just a little
side,
bit.
Burton to the
This has been a great
inside.
passing zone all day. Let's see if he can drive in here and slide up in
Harrison
front of him.
Burton, can he complete
gonna
the
race
pass
him hard.
out of 4? They remain side by side, a little wiggle by Harrison.
They're
He
actually
loses the
still
spot.
maintaining pretty decent lap time, though, even for as hard as they're racing.
Chastain is there. Zilich trying to recover after he went the wrong direction in the restart.
Chastain
Ryan Sieg,
trying to get,
if you look at
Hocevar
the
trying to get by
37th,
Zilich
so he's
for the
trying
top
to
5
finish
spot
off the day and
in
stay
5th.
in contention when you talk about an opportunity to point your way in to the playoffs.
What about Hocevar?
You know, even if Burton doesn't win, I think he's trying to get AM Racing's best ever finish.
For fifth, but still, I mean, great job by him. Kind of had it up and down.
AM
Seemed like they were
Racing's
good
best
at the beginning,
Xfinity
struggled a little bit
finish
through the middle, got off strategy,
was
but they put
4th
themselves in
at,
great
was
position.
3rd
They had
at
a couple of really
Rockingham
good restarts
earlier
here at
this
the
year
end.
with
Looks like they're
Burton.
going to get a top 6 finish.
Couple of young drivers here. 17, Corey Day. 48, Nick Sanchez.
Corey Day in 25th, a lap down.
It's back around 20.
Oh!
Watch
I saw some smoke from the left rear. Sanchez, jostling around.
Dean Thompson goes down. Corey Day is on his inside.
He's still got a problem? Has he got a flat tire?
You see, he's kind of forcing the issue right there just a little bit.
He's got no Goodyear on his front left.
It's so hard when you're the 17 to know that position that you're in. Like, how much room do you have? Sanchez is lucky right there. That could have cut a tire
Car
down.
on
Maybe
pit
it did
road.
cut Dean Thompson's tire down.
And Sam Mayer is like enough of that,
I think it
right?
was
He's
Thompson,
got
they
a
said.
second and a half or more lead over the field. He just wants to bring this thing
So,
back and get his first win of the year.
The team
Gonna be 8
that
laps to
was
go
Stuart Haas
this time
Racing
around
completely
for the 41.
reorganized.
Yeah, no cautions. That's what he's preaching.
8 to go
right
here,
now.
8 to go. Solid rhythm right here. Maintain and fold away a little bit that lap.
Last year driving for Junior Motorsports. Had a successful campaign really the last 2 years. Moved over to Haas Factory Team. It was Stuart Haas. They changed the Haas Factory Team. They rebranded. 2-car operation. They've done a lot of positive things this year, just not been able to find their way to victory lane. 7 laps away from it now. this the race for third. Chastain able to get around Harrison Burton.
Yeah, and just going back to Sam Mayer, they
Chastain
started
by Harrison Burton for third.
Really good. Like, I mean, you're just like, well, a win's just right around the corner. And then they've had like some ups and downs, but he's been quick at a lot of different types of racetracks. And obviously, this is a great track for him, being able to win here last year. And then to overcome everything that they had today with him missing his pit stall early on. I mean, what a better way to
There are still 5 spots left in the playoffs
and be able to win
for
the race.
drivers.
Well, when you think about Ford, who was winless this year, Chevy's won 19 times, twice
5
for
races
Toyota,
left.
But Ford has not won since the season finale 2024
Herbst
with Riley Herbst
at
at
Phoenix.
They're 5 laps
5
away
to go.
from getting it done today.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Ford doesn't have the numbers in this series that Chevy and Toyota.
Toyota doesn't have the numbers either. Chevy has 26 cars in this field. Or is it 27?
This team has had speed. They've run well. But clearly, Junior Motorsports has been the team organization to beat all year long. But this is huge for Ford, Haas Factory, Sam Mayer to get back to victory lane.
But good to get the monkey off them organization, the manufacturers back. 3.5 miles to go.
Trying to snap that Chevy win streak of 13 straight wins.
Yeah, Jesse loves running a little quicker lap times. I got to think that Sam knows, got a 2.5 lead. Just don't make any mistakes. Don't have to push the car over the edge. Don't have to hang it out. Love's been able to run about a 10th quicker the last few laps, but just isn't going to have the pace to catch him without getting the caution.
3 laps to go as Zilich tries to run down Harrison Burton for 4th. And Zilich trying to keep that top 5 streak alive. It'd be 10 in a row for him. Been on such a ride since the injury at Talladega.
Yeah, and Harrison's like, look, just don't touch me right now, okay? I want to have a solid finish. Just get home today.
Yeah, if you told Harrison Burton 5th, he would take it.
Here we go.
Absolutely.
Inside of 2 laps to go for Sam Mayer as we watch this duo race for 4th.
Yeah, Harrison's car took off.
Really
Really good on the
inside.
restart here as we saw
Oh, a
him
contact there.
contending with Jesse Love.
Chill out.
It just looks like
All
it's
right,
faded
Zilich
away
gets 4th.
as this run goes on.
All right, here we go. White flag is out. Last lap at Iowa.
All these restarts at the end.
White flag in the air for Mayer. 1 lap to go.
New beginning for Gene Haas's operations in NASCAR. It's been off to a shaky start. Oh, we got a caution, Garen Spitzley, and that's going to do it. Sam Mayer takes Haas Factory team to their first victory.
How about Sam Mayer? First win of the year. He's going to go back-to-back at Iowa Speedway.
Consecutive wins, as said, at Iowa Speedway. So he wins every race since they came back. And Ford finally gets a W in the Xfinity Series in 2025.
NASCAR Xfinity Series, back it up.
Love second. Okay, let's see. Love second. Chastain third. Zilich fourth. Burton fifth. Hocevar sixth. 7th is Creed. 8th is Ryan Sieg. 9th is Quapple. 10th is Christian Eckes. And all right, and that is the race.
Team. And there's Joe Custer, who's leading the charge for this group.
What happened? Oh, he just lost it on his own.
Garrett Smithley brings out the caution. 9th of the day.
Wait, what happened to Sawalich? Did I say his name? Oh, he's in 11th. Okay.
For Sam Mayer, it's his 8th career victory. Third season that he's been able to pull off a win in the Xfinity Series.
His 7th victory, I believe.
And even though his advantage was sizable above the cut line,
It's always good to have the
you want
security.
the playoff points, and now you know you're going to have a chance to go run for a championship again.
The 13th different winner this season.
Interesting day, Adam, because you had Zilich dominate stage 1, you had Chastain dominate stage 2, and I don't know that we really saw Mayer as being a threat for the win. We thought maybe Taylor Gray was going to be the guy who had a bad pit stop at the end, but Mayer did a really good job.
Where did Taylor Gray finish?
Shoes at the end, and then on those restarts.
17.
2 great weeks in a row. Starts in the pole, finished second last week at Indy. And his old team was celebrating 100 wins all time. He was disappointed that he didn't get the checkered flag. Today, he snaps the JRM win streak by going out and claiming victory for the first time in 2025.
Xfinity Series, and it comes today for the HyVee Part 250. Gonna be a special moment for fans.
These are always such interesting moments because you want to get out and celebrate with your team, but you kind of get out here and it's with the fans and with TV, and then you have that moment again once you get to victory lane. But that's got to feel good right there.
I just remember last year when he did the sprint over to get the flag. Look at that.
Opening his shirt again. That's what I think that's his pose when he wins.
I feel like I hear Top Gun music in the background right there, right?
He's dancing on the car.
Down to Kim Kuhn.
Yeah, Sam Mayer does the Superman, defends his win here in Iowa
Superman.
from last
That's
year,
what
but he does it this year with a different team, notching the first win for Haas Factory team, and it comes at the perfect time. They have been knocking on the door of a win 3 times, found themselves runner-up, including last weekend in Indy. We knew the disappointment finishing second to Connor Zillage last weekend, but man, how important was this win for you and the team?
I mean, this one's everything right here. This one's for all the guys here at Audubell. There's a lot of people here in the stands for the Audubell people, so it's really cool to get a win in front of them. First win for Haas Factory team. That's awesome. This car was as fast as Xfinity Mobile all day long. I tried to botch it on pit road, but we didn't. I can't believe it. This is one of the most special ones I have. These guys, they love me to death. I love them to death, and we're just some good old boys trying to go racing. So,
okay, he is not a good
Let's
old
talk
boy.
about that mistake on
His
pit road. You
dad
said you almost botched it. We saw you slide through the pit
company
stall,
that sponsored
almost
him,
clipped one of your
and
guys.
almost ran
How did
for
you
the U.S.
let
Senate.
that not derail your day? How
But
did you
I
maintain
digress.
your focus?
I mean, I simply knew that this car could easily come back through the field, no problem. So, huge shout out to the guys at the shop and the guys on pit road. The guys coming to me right now. This is awesome. I'm so excited about this one.
Go celebrate. That is Sam Mayer, a winner for the second straight year here at Iowa Speedway.
You know, he's been the best in points without a win since all the way back at Las Vegas. And you said it, Jamie. It's just like a matter of time.
Oh, that's
When's
the
it going
moment.
to happen for Sam Mayer? It's today, and you got to love the celebration.
It's so cool for him to get to have that moment with his team up.
All right, that does it for today. Tomorrow's events. What's on the schedule? Formula 1, 2, 3 at Hungary. Main events at 9 a.m. on ESPN. We have IMSA at 2 p.m. and then Cup at 3:30. Thanks everyone who showed up. Make sure to also watch tomorrow's video on Andretti. Xfinity just wrapped up. Thanks everyone who showed up. See you tomorrow. BowserJrXD signing off. Have a good one.